Hey guys and welcome to the channel. Today I will be doing a what if, which is what if Deku became a demon slayer part 3. I did not make this what if fan fiction. The author of this amazing fan fiction is Lorenzo J. 10, so please support their work. Chapter 16, First Day First Test. The city was big, the buildings were tall, and everyone was going about their day as if this was normal. It was normal for most but not for all. For one, it felt as if he was in another world and in his own world at the same time. Rue didn't know how he felt just yet. He was currently walking around wearing a white hoodie with a red spider symbol on the back and regular pants that he found surprisingly comfortable. Underneath his hoodie you could make out a Spider-Man t-shirt. The other members of the League of Villains, though it was some joke that he had yet to understand. "So what do you think of the modern world?" asked Shigaraki, wearing his own hoodie and leaving his hands at home. "It's strange yet familiar," said Rue, looking around. "I knew about cars and electronics when I first woke up, but I can't deny seeing it all is a bit overwhelming." As they walk into an arcade, Rue wordlessly walks up to a machine featuring a man in blue armor blasting a robot. He put a coin into the machine and began playing, better than someone who has never played a game before. Like this. "I don't remember ever playing this game before, and yet I know what each of these power-ups do. I know what each of these enemies are. I know all these things, but I have no recollection of ever seeing this, or playing or hearing this game. I know about all of it, yet I can't say I know any of this at all." Shigaraki wordlessly watched as Rue played that game. So this what Sensei meant by the memories of the body would linger and educate the soul of the old. Rue, an old villain, has never done any of this before, but the body of the boy has done this before. Thought Shigaraki, this better not become an issue in the future. I'd had to lose such a good character to something so stupid. Other than the memory issues, anything else that I should know about? Rue paused the game and thought for a moment. "I can still see him." "What?" "When I sleep or when I think about him," said Rue as he looked off in the distance. He was there looking back. "It's like a shadow of him still watching all of us." "Your former master." Rue didn't respond, he just kept staring at the shadow waiting for it to do something, but it didn't do anything. It just stood there. Watching, or was it waiting for something? "Hey, would you hurry up and unpause? I want to turn," said a boy wanting to play the machine Rue was on.
The game.
Though neither Tamura or Rue acknowledged the boy's presence. "Hey, did you hear me?" The boy reached for Rue's hoodie, but was stopped by something. "Hey, what the?" Tamura could barely make them out, but he could tell that the boy was slowly being wrapped in thin webs that would rip the boy in two. "Rue, it would be unwise if we made a mess right here and now." "You're right," said Rue as he stepped away from the arcade cabinet. "Though your face says that you wouldn't mind if it got a little exciting around here." Tamura was having a hard time hiding his grin. "I wouldn't mind a bit of excitement, but recently, Sensei has been trying to teach me a little bit of restraint and responsibility. Fun will come, we just need to wait for it." As they looked up to see Yue high in the distance. "It will truly be one hell of a time." "Hey Shigaraki," said Rue as they made their way towards an empty alley. So were the group of men following them. "Do you think if I made a request to All for One, he would do it?" Shigaraki thought for a moment while the group of men surrounded the two. "Hey, which one of these fuckers used their quirk on you, bro?" said their leader, who was hiding the boy from earlier behind him. "I don't know, but it was one of them," he said, pointing at the two. "You know, Rue, I don't know," said Tamura. "I know he has listened to a few of mine, but I've known him for a while." Rue touched his chin for a moment. "I see. Even if I did something in return." The group was getting pissed. "Hey, we're talking to you." Well, a deal could always be made. At that point it really just depends on what you're asking for. Is it something complicated? To be honest, I'm not sure yet. I don't exactly know how modern science works, said Roy as he prepared some of his strings. You fuckers, said as one of them turned his fists into a pair of maces. I'll beat you into a bloody dash. Rue's strings separated his arms from his body. Dash, before Tamura put his hand over his mouth, shutting him up and turning him into dust. Well, if that's the case, then you're on your own. I don't understand that shit any more than you, said Shigaraki. You bastard, the remaining men as they powered up their quirks and charged. I see, said Ruiz with a simple wave of his hand, slicing 3 of them into pieces. While the others stood in shock, Shigaraki in a burst of speed grabbed each of their throats, giving them a slow death as they bleed out from their dusty necks. Well, those mobs were boring, as he saw all but the boy were now dead. Well, maybe a round of a fighting game will give me a bigger challenge. At that moment, one of Kurogiri's portals opened, getting the attention of both of them. The boy took the opportunity to try and run for it, but string wrapped around his neck. A fighting game, said Rue, that sounds interesting. Mind if I join? Sure, why not, said Shigaraki as they stepped into the portal. When the police would arrive, they would find a bloody massacre and the boy would be the only survivor. He was lucky, the string only broke the skin. Ding dong rang the doorbell. I'll get it, said Inko as she went and opened the door, revealing Yoshiro and Tomo. Mr. Yoshiro and Tomo, so good to see you two again. Are you here to see the kids? Yes, said Yoshiro, stepping into the apartment. I also came to thank you again for watching Eri. Oh, there's no need for that, she's a dear. And besides, I should be the one to thank you for the new apartment. After witnessing the reunion of the Midoriyas and getting an earful from Mitsuki, Yoshiro still felt guilty and realized that maybe he went a little too far with trying to keep his secrets. So as an apology, Yoshiro bought them a new apartment to live in. 3 times as big as their old one. It was close to school and it could fit a few extra people if needed. It had enough room to even house Melissa and Ye, but when offered they both got flustered and declined. Yoshiro knew that it would be a good idea to keep them close to school, so he also got them the apartment next to the Midoriyas. It wasn't hard, apparently Yoshiro owned the building. He didn't even know that himself at first, bought it 120 years ago, when it was a 2-story apartment complex. It was doing quite well. Now as an 8-story apartment for families middle to upper class. Tomo Wunshin, said Eri in her pink PJs as she rushed and gave Tomo a hug. Eri, it's so good to see you again. Have you been a good girl for Mrs. Midoriya? Said Tomo, picking the little girl up. Eri nodded. She has been showing me old cartoons, like Lilo and Stitch and Hamtaro. That's good, said Yoshiro, patting the girl's head. Eri in turn patted Yoshiro's head. Thank you, Eri. Oh, sensei, said Izuku, coming out wearing his new school uniform. Though he made sure that he was able to keep wearing his Hanafuda earrings. They became like a treasure to him and a reminder of what Tanjiro did for him. Did you come by to see us off on our first day to school? Not exactly, things have gotten quite busy with me trying to go public. Several people in the government and scientific communities are afraid I might abandon them for my new project I'm working on. So we came to make sure things were going smoothly, also to check to make sure your lungs are doing better. Your hands look better. Oh yeah, they're doing fine, I just made the attack too big, said Izuku, trying to play it off. Still, you should try to show some restraint and not try anything like that again until you're ready for it. Izuku bowed. Yes, sensei. Also, did you talk to the school about your sword? Yep, they said I could take it to school, I just need to have it in a carrying case and they will allow me to have it in school. Excellent, said Yoshiro as he checked the time. Well, I hate to drop in and leave, but there are things that will need to be addressed, causing Eri to pout. Don't worry, Eri, hopefully things will calm down soon and we can visit more.
That's why I feel so bad.
Oh, and Izuku, keep an eye out for Melissa and Ye, would you? Of course. Remind me again, why do I have to wear this? Said Ye as she was pulling on her skirt. It's because it's the school uniform, said Melissa, also wearing the uniform. Haven't you worn a skirt before? It's been a while and I don't remember them being this short, she said as she continued to pull at them. I prefer pants or shorts. I think they'd look better anyway. I think you look great, Ye, said Melissa as someone knocked on the door.
Give me the green.
1 second. Oh, hey Izuku. Hey Melissa, Ye, you guys ready for the first day of school, said Izuku, hand in hand ready for school? Yep, we're ready to go. Right, Ye. Yeah, grumbled Ye as she grabbed her bag. She stopped for a moment as she looked at Melissa and Izuku. Getting a fun idea. Hey Izuku, how do you think Melissa looks in the school uniform? This caused both of them to blush a bit. Well, began Izuku as he took in the sight of Melissa in her new uniform. She looks great. I mean, she always looks great, it just Izuku began to blank out on what he should say. Well, thanks Izuku, said Melissa as she began to blush even more, leaving herself wide open. Neely SSA, said Ye as she flipped up Melissa's skirt. Yae, screamed Melissa as she pushed her skirt down. Ye ran out the door. Come on, we don't want to be late. Melissa turned to Izuku, whose face had turned beet red and was currently staring up at the ceiling. Did you see anything? No, nothing, he said quickly before thinking, she's wearing pink. Let's just head to school. Right. The trio quickly made it to the school where they were currently searching for their class. Class 1A, here it is, said Izuku as they came to the door of Class 1A. Whoa, that's one big door, said Melissa as they saw the door almost reach the ceiling. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. I just hope we don't have to deal with those guys from the exam, said Ye as they entered the classroom. Take your feet off the desk, said the boy with glasses. His sight alone made the three groan, knowing they would have to deal with him again. You're desecrating our equipment. Oh, put a sock in it, and while you're at it, get that stick out of your ass, said Bakugo, who was currently leaning back with his feet on the desk. Ah, how vulgar, are you really here to be a hero? Maybe we got on the wrong foot. I'm Tenya Ida of Somei Academy, said Tenya, holding his hand out. Somei, said Bakugo, remembering that prestigious middle school. So they were the ones that put that stick up your ass. This shocked Tenya and everyone else in the room that wasn't used to Bakugo being Bakugo. Izuku, said Ochako, entering the room, getting everyone's attention. We're in the same class together, isn't that great? All of them had been paying attention to Bakugo and Tenya, arguing that they didn't even notice Izuku, Ye, or Melissa entering the room until Ochako said something. Now the room was buzzing at the sight of the trio. As some of the students surrounded them and all of them tried to talk to them at once. Izuku and Melissa tried to calm them down, while Ye was getting irritated. Will all of you just shut up for 2 seconds? The class fell silent.
What level are you?
Thank you.
Right here.
Nice, Ye, said Melissa, giving her a thumbs up. Okay, I can already tell you have some questions, but right now we need to find our seats. We can answer all of your questions later. Well, I hate to tell you, but that's a question we all have, said Mina. Take a look at the desks. There's 24 desks, and from what we were all told, there should only be 20 students per class. That's because things have changed this year, said a voice behind them. When Ochako and Melissa turned and squeaked at the sight of a man on the ground in a sleeping bag. Whoa, a caterpillar man, said Ye. It took you guys over 5 seconds to quiet down, he said as he stood up taking off the sleeping bag. I'm Shoyuta Aizawa. If you stick around long enough I'll be your homeroom teacher. The reason we have extra desks is in case we ever need to add more students to the class. Though you don't need to worry about that right now. Right now I want each of you to put on your PE uniforms and meet me outside. Class 1B were having a very similar start to their day. I made it, shouted Jack as he slid into the classroom with only a few minutes to spare. Will those guys ever leave me alone? Each day it's been a different dojo chasing me, he thought. Man, those guys from the Tendo dojo just wouldn't let me catch a break. As he got and tried to find his seat, a familiar girl got in his way. Are we really doing this right now? How did you do it? Asked Kendo. Do what? Did you cheat? No. Then how are you here? Look, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but I didn't cheat nor did I do anything else like to get in. I got in through hard work and training. Kendo didn't take her eyes off of him for a second, staring right at him looking for any tale of a lie. Well, I hate to tell you this, but I don't believe you, she said as she made her way back to her desk. Innocent people don't run, Jack, and sooner or later, your past will catch up to you. Jack couldn't deny there was truth in that statement. All right, you lot, settle down, said Vlad King, entering the room seeing everyone was already silent. Oh, I see you guys are already situated. Everyone was just silent after they saw the intense talk between Kendo and Jack. Well, good. I hope when I come in every day it will be something like this. It will set an excellent example for the rest of the school. For right now I want all of you guys to leave your stuff right here. We are going to Hall A for orientation. Many of the students responded with some variations of yes sensei as they left the classroom. While they did, they saw Class 1A outside. Sensei, what's Class 1A doing? Huh, what are you? Vlad King looked outside. Oh, for the love of... It looks like I may need to have a chat with Aizawa. It took all of you 10 minutes to get here, said Aizawa to the class, now all of them finally in their PE uniforms. Sir, shouldn't we be on our way to orientation? Asked Ochako. No, I have something else in mind. Now let's see which one of you will make a good demonstration. Bakugo, he said, tossing a ball to him. What's your farthest record in the ball toss in middle school? Bakugo thought for a moment. About 60 meters. All right, stand in the circle and toss the ball. This time use your quirk. Bakugo stepped into the circle, riled his arm back and yelled die as he threw with an explosive kick, causing the ball to soar through the air. Did he just yell die, thought the class? Aizawa pulled out and showed the class, 655 meters, not bad. For years now your teacher have been trying to make you all feel equal, you're not. Today you'll be taking a series of tests to see where you all are at. Really, this sounds like fun, said Mina. Kirishima nodded in agreement. Yeah, a real test. Oh, you guys think this is fun, do you? Said Aizawa. Well, each year we are supposed to have 20 students in each class, but as you can all see there are 22 of you here. So the person who places last gets kicked out of the hero course. This sparked protest. Hell, if a few more of you do poorly, I'll expel more of you. Here in UA the teachers are given many freedoms and they get to decide who stays and who leaves. So go out there and show me some plus ultra while you still can. This caused quite a few students to start panicking. Though some of them kept a cool head like Izuku and his friends, well, Melissa was panicking but she kept it from showing. The one girl seemed completely unfazed by this and Izuku noticed. You're not scared about going home, miss? Yayarozu, my name is Momo Yayarozu, she said, and it's clear that he's lying. There's no way UA would allow one of their teachers to send someone home on their first day. She said this with absolute confidence and loud enough for those close like Ye to hear. Izuku thought for a moment as he looked at Aizawa, who was explaining each test. I think he might be telling the truth. We'll just have to wait and see. 50-meter dash.
I'm not sure.
Mina was able to use her acid to slide across the finish line a few seconds before the laser kid was able to make it, and remarking that using the laser too much makes his tummy hurt. Thanks to her training and lightening her cloth, Ochako was barely able to keep up with Ojiro.
How do you say your name? Why?
Kirishima surprised Izuku as he was able to make a good dash straight through the finish line. When it came to Izuku's turn, he was up against Bakugo. Bakugo may have had his explosions which gave him a good score, but Izuku knew the breath of lightning which allowed him to achieve a score of 1.2 seconds. Bakugo didn't like that. Melissa sped through within 3 seconds, and Ye making small explosions on her feet made it in 4.
Come on, Drag.
Long jump might have been a made joke. Even Ye, through sheer determination and some bouncy strange metal on her feet, allowed her to clear the pit along with the rest of her friends. Grip test. Melissa was able to beat out Izuku and Ye but came second to a boy with 6 arms. Sidestepping test. Almost no one was able to get a good score other than a short kid using purple balls to bounce him back and forth. Ball toss test. Izuku used some breath of earth for a good power shot that made it over 620 meters. Melissa gave it a shot and was able to get it over the 700-meter mark, receiving a glare from Bakugo, though she had to open her jacket to let her chest cool off from overheating her heart. Ye thought of something interesting. She coated the ball in some of her strange metal, then she made some throwing knives and covered her knuckles in it. She tossed the ball up in the air and then hit it with her fist. The explosion caused the ball to fly 200 meters before she started to throw the knives before it started to fall. Each knife hit the ball a meter before it hit the ground and was always on target, causing it to fly another 100 meters or so with each explosion, and then when she was out of knives, the coating on the ball erupted, causing it to reach a high enough altitude to go over the school wall. 1,248 meters. Oh yeah, I made it off campus, Ye yelled in victory. What? No way, that's cheating, yelled Bakugo. How did she cheat? Asked Aizawa. All I said was don't leave the circle. She used her quirk and didn't break any rules. Hell, I'm tempted to add points for the accurate knife throws. How did you make those shots? Whispered Izuku. Melissa gave me the idea, to try and make my metal magnetic, she said, wrapping an arm around Melissa. I have been able to make my metal bouncy, explosive, and now thanks to Melissa I now can make them magnetic. Melissa adjusted her glasses. Well, it was just a theory. I had the idea if he couldn't produce a lot of metal without hurting herself, then maybe she could produce a wide variety of metal that can do all sorts of things. Ye kept grinning with pride. I'd like to see someone beat my score. Ochako threw the ball into space and Aizawa's phone scored it at infinity. Ochako started to scratch the back of her head. My quirk kind of just works here, she said, hoping Ye wouldn't get made like Bakugo. Instead, Ye smiled at Ochako. Nice going, gravity cheeks. Gravity cheeks, before turning to Izuku. Is that a good thing? I think so. It's definitely a step up from some of her other nicknames. Endurance test. 20 minutes into the test, everyone but Izuku, Melissa, Ye, Momo, who pulled a bike out of her stomach, and Bakugo, out of her stubbornness, were still running. Aizawa had to stop them and give each of them a passing grade. Sit-ups and push-up test. Both of these tests had a similar ending to the last. Izuku, Melissa, and Ye were still going strong thanks to the endurance training Yashiro gave them. Bakugo was still right behind them and was going off of sheer willpower. They all agreed. He might be an ass, but his determination was impressive. Okay, I've chalked up all of your scores, said Aizawa. I'm not going to waste time listing them all off, so here. Midoriya. Ryoshi. Shield.
Oh, no way.
Bakugu.
Got clipped.
Yayorozu. Todoroki.
Everything.
Kirishima. Ashido.
I don't know how to play some more watch.
Uraraka.
Mad quick. It's a shooting game. You look at
10. Tenya Ida.
just certain shit.
Tokoyami.
Shit, like, as far as, like,
Shoji.
you know, the vehicles.
Ojiro.
At the end of the day, you just shoot people.
Koda. Sato. Ajui. Aoyama. Siro. Kaminari.
This mode is actually a
Jiro.
so like
Hagokure.
Battlefield mode.
Mineta.
Maybe, though.
As everyone read the result, all of them slowly turned to the short purple boy who was shaking and on the verge of wetting himself. Does this mean I'm expelled? Yep, said Aizawa, shocking a couple students. You can keep the uniform. I doubt we have anyone that can fit it. Go and transfer to the general studies course if you want, I don't care. Wait, aren't you taking this a little too far, said the girl with black hair and a ponytail. You were just trying to get us motivated, right? You weren't actually going to expel any of us, right? Miss Yayorozu, you must have been pretty confident that I wasn't being serious, but I was. He's expelled. If you want to leave as well, you can. But... Shut up, Magic Tits, said Ye. If he went up against a villain now, he would most likely die. This is for the best. Well, it's just, wait, Magic Tits, said Momo, finally realizing what Jay called her. Why did you call me Magic Tits? You pull crap out of your tits like a magic hat, said Ye so nonchalant you'd think she was describing an everyday object. They're not, that's not how, my quirk doesn't work like that, she tried to explain herself but kept getting more and more flustered. I can pull any object from any part of my body, she demonstrated by pulling a small ruling stick from her arm. See? Oh, I can do that too, said Ye as she summoned a small metal stick from her arm. What's your point, Magic Tits? Stop calling me that, as she got in Ye's face. My name is Momo Yayorozu, not Magic Tits. Ye then put the small metal stick in Momo's face. Why, Magic Tits, get out of my face before I ignite this stick. Momo was actually getting angry, and before she could respond, both her and Ye were wrapped together face to face. Hey! What the hell? Okay, that's enough out of both of you, said Aizawa as his hair began to float and his eyes shined red. He was using his scarf to restrain the two girls, also showing a pair of yellow goggles. Your erasure head, said Izuku, an underground hero with the power to temporarily erase other people's quirk. Erasure head was impressed. It's been a long time since anybody has been able to identify me. But that's beside the point right now, as he released the two girls. You two stop, I don't want to deal with your squabbles right now. He then turned to see Mineta was still here. And you get out of here, I already expelled you.
What are you doing here, bro?
The rest of you go back to the classroom, your curriculum sheets are on the desk. Pick one up before you leave. Hold it right there, Aizawa, said Vlad King, walking up to the class. What do you want, Vlad? Aizawa is already tired. I got orders here for you directly from the principal, he said as he pulled out a piece of paper. You as of right now aren't allowed to expel anyone. Aizawa took the paper and gave it a quick read, before sighing. Minoru Mineta, you better shape up. Now all of you go back to the class, and you, he said, pointing at Vlad, you're coming with me real quick. Mineta began to cry and got on his knees. Thank you, sir. You're my hero. No problem, said Vlad King as he followed Aizawa. Lucky little bastard, said Bakugo. Aizawa and Vlad walked through the halls of UA in silence for a while before Aizawa decided it was time to break the silence. Why'd you do it, Vlad? You know why I expel students, don't you? Yes, I know why and I don't mind, but last year when you expelled an entire class and I was the one who had to deal with all of the angry parents, Vlad said while getting a little angry at the memory. Realization flashed in Aizawa's eyes. Oh yeah, I still owe you for that one.
Oh, right behind
Yes,
you,
you
right
do,
behind you.
but that's not the reason I stopped you. As they arrived at the principal's office. When they entered, they found Yashiro and Nizu playing some sort of board game called Gungi, though neither of them could tell who was winning. Oh, Aizawa, said Yashiro, I hope you didn't get too much on your nerves. No, not really. I've had a few students like her in the past, not to mention she kind of reminds me of a certain bunny hero, he said as he stepped in. Why did you stop me from expelling that kid? I didn't, I just said that I have an idea for them. Do you believe that the student was unworthy of being a hero? Yes. At the moment he doesn't have much potential at all. Wow, that's not good, said Nizu. Reversal, by the way. TCH, good move, but a pathetic student might be better for what I have in mind, said Yashiro, moving a piece. Oh, what do you have in mind? Said Aizawa. Yashiro smiled before elaborating on his plan. His plan shocked both Aizawa and Vlad. Nizu, you're okay with this? To be honest, yes, said the mouse. I've been wanting to do something similar for quite a while, and with Yashiro keeping that accursed board away, I finally get to do it. Did you just put my shogun in check? I did, said Yashiro as they kept playing. While Aizawa thought that these kids aren't ready for what's about to come.
Damn.
Man, that was one crazy first day of school, said Izuku. I hope not every day is like this, said Melissa. You know, I don't think I would mind if every day was like this. I mean, at least it wouldn't be boring, said Ye. Hey, they turned to see Ochako running after them. Hey, are you guys heading to the train station? Mind if I come with you? Sure, gravity cheeks. I don't mind, said Izuku. Sure, said Melissa, who honestly didn't want another girl with them. Upon realizing this, Melissa thought, am I getting jealous? Hey, who's that? Asked Ochako as she pointed to the entrance, where a girl in a UA uniform with two black pigtails was waiting. Wait, I know that girl, he said as he made way towards her. Yuki, is that you? Hey Izuku, she said quietly. Izuku, who is this? Asked Melissa. Oh, I went to middle school with her. He said, I guess I still do. You're going to UA, right? Yes, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Yuki Suno of Class 1C, said Yuki with a small bow. Class 1C, is that the hero course? Asked Ye. No, said Ochako, I think that's the general course. It is the general course, said Yuki. I failed the hero course exam. Oh, Izuku, said Yuki firmly, can I please talk to you alone for a moment?
Behind you.
Oh, said Izuku, not sure how he should respond, so Melissa slapped his back. Melissa. Go, talk to her, she said. Come on, Ye, Ochako, let's go. She grabbed Ye's hand and began to walk off with Ochako following them. See you later. Yes, see you guys later, he waved as they walked away. For some reason Izuku felt like he screwed something up. So you wanted to talk? Yeah, let's go for a walk. Chapter 17, Apologies in History. Yo, hey, Melissa, wait up, said Ye, chasing after Melissa, who had been walking fast down the street. Ye and Ochako had been following Melissa after she left UA. Melissa walked further down the street before stopping. Melissa, are you doing all right? Melissa grabbed her head and bent over. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I don't know why, but my chest just felt twisted, not physically, but I just wanted to leave. I didn't mean to make a scene, it just hurt. You get what I mean? Nope, was Ye's immediate response. But I want to help. Just say what you need. Melissa couldn't deny she was touched by her friend's simple response. I think I get it, said Ochako. speaking up as she put her hands on her heart. Your heart hurts because you're worried you'll lose him, right? Melissa pondered her words for a moment. Well, I guess. It's just I've never felt this way about a person, and I guess I just don't know how to process this. You never had a crush on someone before. Not even in middle school. I never went to middle school. I kinda skipped a few grades, said Melissa. I'm sorry, I guess I'm being selfish. You're not being selfish, said Ochako, taking Melissa's hands. You're just listening to your heart and you're just trying to figure out what it's trying to say. Melissa smiled. Thanks, Ochako. Uguruluol. They both turned to Ye as she scratched the back of her head. Sorry, I'm a little hungry. Oh, there's a new cafe near where I live, said Ochako. You guys want to come with? If they serve food, I'm in. Sure, said Melissa as the three went to get some food. Izuku and Yuki found themselves inside a different cafe. They both sat in silence since they ordered their drinks. Okay, so what's going on here? Thought Izuku first. She asks me to go on a walk so they could talk, and now we're in a cafe and we still barely have said anything to each other. Should I be the one to say something? Yuki had similar thoughts going through her head. What should I say? I just wanted to apologize for middle school and give him his journal back, but I ended up messing things up for him and his friends, girlfriend, or is it girlfriends? Either way, I just screwed up more. Now I just dragged him around in silence. What the hell am I doing? Hey Yuki, you doing okay? Asked Izuku, breaking the silence. Oh. Yeah, I'm fine. I just, Yuki took a breath to calm herself down. I want to apologize for everything that happened in middle school. I know everyone I included treated you horrible, and to make it worse, none of us ever stood up for you. We just turned away whenever you were getting hurt, we ignored you and made fun of your dream, and even though you proved us all wrong and have achieved what most people dreamed of, it still doesn't excuse the way we acted. It doesn't justify any way we treated you or the way we acted. I personally wanted to apologize for leaving you to such a fate. If I was a real hero, I would stand up for you and I wouldn't have left you to Bakugo. Yuki stood from her chair. I just really wanted to say I'm sorry, as she bowed towards Izuku. Izuku was stunned. He never expected once that he would meet any of his former classmates, let alone get an apology from any of them. For a moment Izuku pondered if he wanted an apology until he came to the realization that he didn't want any apology, he just wasn't expecting this. Yuki, I don't need an apology. I already have forgotten about everything that happened in middle school. He knew this was a lie. He knew somewhere in his heart that pain would always exist, but he knew that he could move past it. He had to. But I need to, she said quickly. I need to apologize. The way I acted was unacceptable and in no way a hero should act. I should have done better and I want to do better. So if there is anything I can do, please just say the word and I'll do it. Whoa, could you please dial it back a little? You're kind of making a scene. Izuku pointed out all the people now staring at Yuki. Yuki's face turned red as she bowed and apologized to the other customers before returning to her seat with her face full of embarrassment. Wait, you said that was no way a hero should act. Did you try getting into the UA hero course? Yuki's face still showed she was embarrassed, but it also was now carrying a hint of annoyance. Did something happen? I tripped on a purple ball, she whispered. The test just started and I was able to make 2 robots crash before I tripped over a purple ball and fell on top of more of them. I was stuck there for the whole test and I couldn't get out, she said with a defeated look. Wait a minute, thought Izuku. Purple balls? Was it that Mineta kid? I did see him bounce off of them, but if he could change that from bounciness to stickiness, that could explain how he stopped a few robots. It could also trap others by accident as well, it seems. When I got a letter from the school, they said they were impressed with what I did before I got stuck and asked me to join the general education course, saying I would have a chance to switch to the hero course.
Oh man, seen that.
Apparently I wasn't the only one. For some reason 2 other girls in the general studies also got stuck on those stupid balls. Her face began to twist into anger. I swear if I ever find that son of a gun as she began to grumble a bit. Izuku couldn't help but feel for her. She must have trained hard only for it to all come undone, because one kid wasn't careful enough with his quirk, or was he trying to do something else? Izuku made a mental note to keep an eye on Mineta. Well then I guess I have some good news for you, because we have 2 open spots in Class 1A. Gaspy, really? She said. She smiled from ear to ear. That means I can get into the hero course and I can show Bakugo what a real hero looks like. Bakugo? Yeah, I'll be a better hero than he'll ever be, she said with a determined look in her eyes. Oh, before I forget, as she reached into her bag and grabbed out his old notebook. Here, this belongs to you. My old hero analysis notebook. Izuku carefully held the book in his hands as if he is reuniting with an old friend. How did you? When you left school, they were about to throw out all of your stuff. I was able to pick it up before they tossed it out. Izuku had to wipe a small tear from his eye. Thank you. These notebooks kept me going for the longest time. I owe you one. If there's anything I can do, just say the word. What? No. I didn't keep it for a reward or anything. I just thought it was the right thing to do, she said, blushing a little as she thought of what she could ask, but she knew that wouldn't be right. Though there was one thing she could ask. Actually, if I can borrow a bit of your time. She reached into her bag and grabbed her spare notebook. I would like to run some ideas by you if you don't mind. The moment she said those words, stars appeared in Izuku's eyes. Of course I would, he said as they began to go back and forth on quirk ideas. Man, this is delicious, said Ye as she ate another round of dangos. They had found the outdoor cafe that Ochako had recommended and ordered drinks and snacks. It's been a while since I've had a dango. Melissa finished chewing hers. These are a lot better than I expected. Really, I'm glad you guys like it, said Ochako as she enjoyed her tea. Is this your first time having dangos? It is for me, said Melissa. I usually had Western food back home, and when I moved to Japan, Tomo made all sorts of different food from around the world, so I didn't really get a chance to try Japanese food. Which, now that I think about it, is kind of surprising. Not really, said Ye as she finished her 5th stick of dangos. Tomo has had food from all around the world and she has tried to make them herself. If you think about it, it isn't too surprising that she never made any of the normal stuff around here. Tomo? Is she a chef friend of yours? Asked Ochako. Well, not exactly, said Melissa, trying to think of a good way to describe Tomo. She's kind of a bit of everything. Ochako tilted her head a bit in confusion. It may sound confusing, Gravity Cheeks, but to be honest, that is most likely the best way to describe her, said Yates. She can be a doctor, nurse, housewife, big sister, and can kick more ass than most pro heroes. Melissa nodded in agreement while Ochako tried to imagine what this Tomo was like. What she thought up was a battle-ready maiden with a frying pan in one hand and a syringe in another. What, so is she a pro hero then? Nope. Why isn't she a pro hero? Asked Melissa. We saw her go toe-to-toe with the other pros. She could most likely get into the top 10 easily. Ye wiggled a dango stick. That's if she wanted to. Tomo doesn't want to leave the old man's side, and unless he told her to, she wouldn't do it. Old man, said Ochako, giving her even more questions. Before she could ask them, she saw a group of girls walking down the street. Kendo, she said, waving at her friend. Ochako, said Kendo, walking over to their table. How's it going? It's going great, just having some after-school tea with my classmates, as she gestured to Ye and Melissa. Ring. What was that? Thought Ye, now on alert. Hi there, we met before, though I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Astuka Kendo, said Kendo, your Shield-san and Ryoshi-san, right?
32
Please, call me Melissa. Yes, same here, just call me Ye, a big fist.
See, I don't know, like,
Big fist? You called me that during the exam. Yeah, that's just Ye being Ye, you get used to it, said Melissa. So is everyone with you from UA? Yeah, Kendo, you didn't forget about us, right? Said a girl with green hair. Oh right, sorry. These are a couple of girls from Class 1B, said Kendo. How you doin'? Name's Setsuna Tokage, said the girl with green hair. Greetings, I'm Yui Kodai, said an emotionless girl who gave a small bow. Hello, sorry my Japanese isn't the best, said a girl with horns. I'm Pony Tsunatori. I'm a foreign student from America. Melissa perked up a bit. You're from America as well. I didn't think I would meet someone from the States so soon. Pony lit up and grabbed Melissa's hands. Someone who can understand me. Sorry, it's just that not many people can speak English that well here. Yeah, not many people here know a second language, said Ye, speaking perfectly in English. Surprising everyone but Melissa. Though I would recommend that you learn Japanese while you're here. It should make things easier. Of course, said Pony, don't worry, I fully intend on learning Japanese. It's just refreshing and a bit reassuring to hear someone else can understand me. Meanwhile, the other girls were wondering what they were saying as they started to speak English. I don't suppose any of you know what they're saying, asked Sastuna. I know a bit of English but not that well, said Yui. Pony is saying she's happy that there are others that can understand her, said a new voice. Ye forged a knife under the table as her eyes snapped to the blonde girl who was standing behind Kendo. When the hell did she get here, thought Ye. She was not standing there, or was she? If so, how did I not notice her? Ye gave the girl a look over. She was wearing the UA uniform. She had really shiny blonde hair, one could mistaken it for a yellowish white, and sharp pinkish eyes. Eyes that saw through Ye. They told Ye that she knew about the knife, and the smile said, I'm not afraid. This girl is trained. The girl smirked at Ye. My name is Hibiki Yuzui, please call me Hibiki. You mind if we sit with you? Ye remained silent and kept glaring at the girl. That would be fantastic, said Melissa. It would be great if we could get to know our classmates a little better. Ye hid the knife in her sleeve just in case. The girls made room for their new friends. They ordered and began talking about the first day of school. The girls of Class 1B were quite surprised about what had happened to Class 1A. Whoa, sounds like you guys had a busy first day, said Sastuna. Pony shook a little. That must have been scary. I think the pressure would have gotten to me. We're all training to be heroes, so we should actually be expecting things like this, said Kendo. They're going to be tough on us so that we will be able to handle anything the world throws at us. That's a good mindset, said Ye, relaxing a little, but she made sure to keep an eye on Hibiki, who was also eyeing Ye and Melissa. So meet anyone interesting during your test, she asked. Melissa thought for a moment. A few of them stood out, like the boy with the ice quirk and the girl who was pink, but the one that was the loudest was the boy named Bakugo. His quirk explosion is good, but he doesn't have the best attitude. Yeah, said Ochako, remembering him shouting a lot. He doesn't seem to get along with others. While that is true, he screams and barks a lot. You can't deny he has the skill to back most of it up. For the most part of the test he kept up with me, Melissa and Izuku. Hell, he even did better than Magic Tits. The other girls had to freeze as Kendo spit out her drink and the others to just stare at Ye, before Setsuna began laughing. What, who is Magic Tits? Asked Setsuna between laughs. Ye was confused by this as she didn't bother to even remember the girl's name. So Melissa stepped in. Momo Yayorozu. Momo Yayorozu, repeated Setsuna. Oh, I know her. She got into UA on recommendation. She has a quirk that allows her to make things out of her body, right? Something like that. Kendo thought for a moment and saw a pattern. What Ye do you give us names depending on our quirks? No, not all the time. Ye looked up trying to think. I don't really remember when I started doing it, but because I kept moving my whole life and met new people every single day, I just gave people names to make it easier to remember people that I want to remember. Heck, when I first met Izuku, I called him the Green Mumbler. Wait, why am I thinking about this? She thought. Wait, said Melissa, you call me and Izuku by our given names and you called me Melissa from the day we met. That's because I wasn't planning on knowing you too long. I try to remember people's names if I'm only going to know them for a day and they haven't done anything to piss me off like Flame Face. So why didn't you give me a name? Because you fought by my side in the mall. I would never disrespect someone who has fought by my side, not to mention you impressed me. You had only 2 months of training and were shaking and you still had the guts to stand and fight with me and Izuku. Said Ye, that's why right. Wait, I never thought about this before, why am I thinking about it now? The girls thought for a moment at Ye's logic. I think I'm starting to get you. You go through life meeting so many different people that you give them names on their first impression, said Kendo, so the reason you don't call Izuku Green Mumbler anymore is because he fought by your side. No, she grumbled. He beat me in a fight. I remember those who have beaten me in a fight or those that have done something to earn my respect. That's a little arrogant, Ye, said Melissa. Wait, you respect Sensei Yashiro. Why do you call him old man all the time? He likes it. Ring. There's the ringing sound again, thought Ye. Where is it coming from? It doesn't sound natural at all. Ochako tilted her head again. Your sensei likes to be called an old man. Unfortunately, our sensei has a quirk that makes it hard for you to tell how old he is, said Melissa, but that aside, this is a story I want to hear. So how did you meet Sensei Yashiro? Well, according to my parents, I met him when I was a baby, but the first time I remember him and speaking with him was when I was 5. Master Yashiro, yelled Matazo Ryoshi, he must be in his office. Ye, wait for your mother, she should be out of the bathroom shortly. I'm going to go look for Master Yashiro. Ye nodded to her father as she held her stuffed boar. She watched her father leave as she waited at the entrance of Yashiro's home for about 2 minutes, which for a child was an eternity, and like any child began to wander off. As she did, she saw a person looking at some flowers outside. Excuse me, old man, she said, getting his attention. He looked at her. Yeah, you old man, she said, pointing at him. Yashiro stared at the little girl for a moment before looking left and right before slowly pointing to himself. Me? Yeah, you old man. Old man, he said in disbelief, why do you call me that? You're older than me and you're a man. You're an old man, she said simply. He, ha 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 ha. He just started laughing harder and harder, almost falling over. So loud Ye's parents could hear it from inside the house. According to my dad, that was the loudest he had ever heard the old man laugh. Apparently I was the first one to call him old man before even knowing who he was. Later I learned he saved me and my mom once. After that, the next time I saw him I called him by his name, and I could tell he was a little disappointed by that, so I just kept calling him old man. And he doesn't mind? Asked Yui. Nope, said Ye, shaking her head. We even had a conversation about it a while ago, and he said it was fine that I call him that. It apparently helps remind him of his age. Well, that's quite fascinating, said Hibiki, who was all smiles. So how did this Yushiro save you and your mum? That sounds like an interesting story. Ring. Ye was about to say something before she slapped her hand on her mouth. They're right there. I felt as if I needed to say something. What the hell is going on? Melissa stared at her friend. Ye, you okay? Why the hell am I even thinking about this? Yelled Ye as she pulled the knife out of her sleeve. She was about to throw it at Hibiki when she felt someone grab her hand. She looked down to see a severed floating hand holding hers. What the? Okay, how about we calm down now, said Setsuna as she stood up waving her arms showing that neither had hands. Freaking out Ochako, Pony, and Melissa. Setsuna, you hands, said Pony pointing at them. Don't worry, it's my quirk, she said. I can detach parts of my body, as she gestured to the hand holding Ye's and the other hand holding Hibiki's collar. Hibiki looked down at the hand, remaining totally calm. She then turned her head to her left seeing Yui's hand on her shoulder with a paperclip. She then turned her head to the right seeing Kendo's hand right behind her. So these three were ready. I'm impressed. I didn't think this many would notice. Grandfather will be disappointed. I underestimated them too much and I overstepped and fished for too much information. Hibiki smiled. She raised her hands as if she was saying she was surrendering. Okay. Okay, you got me. I'll stop. What's going on? Asked Ochako. What's going on? This chick is trying to screw with my head, said Ye before turning her head to Setsuna. And this one is stopping me from stabbing her. Well, I couldn't have you stabbing a fellow classmate the first day now, can I? She said. That wouldn't be very heroic now, would it? Sorry, I didn't think this could get so out of hand, said Hibiki. Honestly, I don't want this to get physical, alright, I'm sorry. Okay, so what and why were you doing it? Said Kendo, still having her hand in striking range. Easy, I don't trust you or Demon Slayer. Lied Hibiki as she stared at Ye, making no sign that she was lying. You see, my family business is security, from bodyguards to virus protection. My family does it. So when you and Demon Slayer showed up, a lot of strange things started to happen, stuff that actually affected my family. Nothing in a bad way, and nothing too lasting. Though it did raise a lot of questions. Questions that I were hoping to get some answers to. Nothing too deep, just enough to quell mine and my family's paranoia, she said as she took a sip of her drink. Though as she did, she noticed that none of them were relaxing at all. She rolled her eyes. Oh, for the love of... Sit down and relax before all you start to cause a scene. The other girls looked at each other for a moment before they took their seats. Though none of them let their guard down. Ye kept a firm grip on the knife she created and made sure Hibiki could see it. Yui was unfolding a paperclip, forming it into a capture weapon just in case. Your quirk has the ability to mess with our minds. If you continue, we will take you to the authorities despite your reasons. Hibiki smiled. My quirk isn't exactly like that, but tell me, how did you know I was up to something? Yui thought for a moment, deciding whether or not to say anything. Though Ye had no problem saying what was on her mind. It was that stupid whining noise. It was annoying as all hell. It was now Hibiki's turn to look shocked. Ringing noise. But that sound is on a high frequency, only animals should be able to hear it. You must have some good ears. Did any of you hear the ringing? Setsuna looked at her as she moved her hair away from her ears. I couldn't hear anything, but I noticed that parts of my body were a bit unfocused, and I noticed her tensing up a lot every time you spoke, and to top it off I noticed Kendo. Ah yes, Kendo did pick up on that rather quickly. You knew I was on to you, said Kendo. You always made sure to keep me within striking distance, and to top it off you haven't touched your drink or snacks once. Which is a shame because these are rather good, she said as she popped some snacks into her mouth.
I got you.
You're acting too clam,
Yeah, they got that.
said Yui, getting a little worried by the girl's actions. You do realize we have to report you? Hibiki eyed the girl. You're quite strict. Is that how you figured something was off? Yui was quiet for a moment. Yes, I come from a military family. I've never gone to get snacks with people I just met. Especially not without notifying someone. When you asked for me to join you, you put too much of your quirk into it when you told me to relax. I relaxed so much I actually came along without sending a single message. I have never forgotten to do that once in my life. I see. Well, I have to admit I'm impressed, said Hibiki. I didn't think much of UA at all when I first came here, but you girls really showed me I'm going to need to do better in the future. In the future, repeated Melissa. What makes you think we will let you do something like this again? Hibiki smiled and closed her eyes. Oxnard. Squeak. The girls turned their attention to the noise. In the center of the table sat a hamster eating a sunflower seed. A hamster. His name is Oxnard. Oxnard Neuralize.
They still got tank on the left side.
Shoto was surprised when he got home. Not only did his sister prepare his favorite dinner, but his brother Natsuo was there as well. Natsuo, what are you doing here? Fuyumi invited me to celebrate your first day of school, explained Natsuo. Shoto stared at his brother for a moment. He had never seen his brother accept an invitation to come home for something as small as the first day of school. The second Natsuo graduated high school, he left the house and rarely ever returned. Is that really the only reason you came by today?
Oh no, they're coming downstairs now.
Natsuo stared back as his brother. Well, to be honest, I kind of wanted to see how things are going on around here. I've heard some interesting rumors that Enji got into some trouble. Wanted to see what that was all about. Shoto's only response was a small hum. Natsuo, said Fuyumi, coming to greet her brothers. We are here to celebrate Shoto's first day. I already got dinner on the table.
Oh, damn.
As the three entered the dining room, they saw the food on the table and a man with spiky bright red hair wearing sunglasses in a suit eating the food. Hi. Natsuo was completely confused. What the? Who are you? Sis, did you get a boyfriend? Fuyumi turned a bright red. What? No. Mr. Red as well. What exactly do you do? He's Dad's babysitter, said Shoto. Pretty much, said Mr. Red as he ate some noodles. Sup Natsuo, you can call me Agent Red or either of them work. I'm in charge of watching your father after he pissed off the government. Okay, I've got questions, said Natsuo. If you're here, where's father? Asked Shoto. Red raised his hand and began to slowly fold his fingers. The last finger went down and the door behind him opened. Fuyumi, I left some papers in the gym. Did you? What are you doing here? Yelled Endeavor as he saw Red. My orders were quite literally to be your shadow. Wherever you go, I follow, he said as he continued to eat. Endeavor glared at the man. I haven't seen you for quite some time. I thought you left. Nope. I'm still watching. I was watching when you stopped that armored car today and when you had that American toasted sandwich for lunch. Even when you sent those flowers. Flowers? Thought the siblings. So now you're here now stealing food from my kids. I'm not stealing. Fuyumi made this for me, he said, raising a card that said for Mr. Red. Endeavor glanced at his daughter. I felt guilty when he came by the last few times and I didn't have any food for him, she said a little sheepishly.
That guy is fucking.
Endeavor turned his attention back to Red. What are you doing here? Well, you're here, so that's a reason.
It's a little bird.
As for why I'm talking to you directly, I came to pass on a message. Your punishment has been decided, and in 2 days you will be told what exactly it is, so be prepared, said Red as he put his plate down. Thanks for the food, Fuyumi. It was delicious. Can't you just tell me what it is, so we can get it over with? Unfortunately, I don't know what your punishment is, but I look forward to it. As he stood up and left the room. I'll see you all later. Endeavor huffed.
Yeah, we repairing.
Fuyumi, the papers I left in the gym. I put them in your office, she said as Endeavor left for his office. So dinner. Shoto sat down in front of his plate. Let's eat.
Killed him though.
Natsuo sat down as well, hearing his father stomp out of the house. Hey sis, mind making a bit of extra for the next few days?
His flares is down right now.
Things look like they're getting good around here.
I gotta kill him here.
Laughter could be heard from the group of girls as Setsuna was telling a story. And then I popped my head and screamed. He pissed his pants and ran out of the school, causing the girls to laugh more. Wow, Setsuna, sounds like you were a bit of a troublemaker in elementary school, said Hibiki. I never knew things like that could happen in school, said Yae. I wish I could have a story like that.
Good shots, Dolo.
Just don't do anything like that to Yayarozu. You're already on bad terms with her, said Melissa. Wait, don't you have some stories from elementary school? Asked Hibiki. Never been to school before, Yue, said Yae. I was always homeschooled. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, unfortunately Yae doesn't know much about how to socialize properly with people, said Melissa.
Man, we lost.
You should learn not to make enemies, Yae, said Yui. It could come and bite you later.
And I'm only 19.
What you guys talking about, magic tits, said Yae. Don't worry.
See, that's how crazy it goes.
I
That's
can
one
deal
more
with
shot.
her. It's not like I'm going to know her for too long.
The best squad, bro. We got
What do you mean?
TNT up that game. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, I just need to deal with her until school is over and we graduate, right? So I just need to deal with her for the next week or so, said Yae while drinking the rest of her coffee. Before noticing that everyone was looking at her. What? Yae, said Ochako. How long do you think school is going to last?
Join Discord.
I don't know. A week or two. Slap. As Melissa facepalmed. Before Yae could say anything, Hibiki giggled. Yae, to graduate UA you have to go to school there for 3 years. Yae was silent for a moment as she processed the information before her eyes expanded to the size of plates. 3 YRSSSS, as the other girls began to laugh. Yae got into the fetal position and began to rock back and forth. I've never stayed anywhere for longer than 6 months and now I'm stuck here for 3 years. Wow, you really have never done anything like school, have you? Said Yui. If you don't mind me asking, where have you been? Yae wordlessly reached in her pocket and pulled out a small but rather thick notebook that Pony recognized. A passport. Here, look for yourself. It's not like I'm going anywhere, said Yae as a dark cloud appeared above her. Melissa began to pat her back while Kendo reached and opened the passport. Whoa, look at all these countries. The other girls leaned in to see. You got almost every country in here. America, France, Spain, Italy, China.
6 years ago.
She's been to every country in Europe, even the small islands like Themyscira, Vltava, and Markovaya.
Box up there again?
Forget Europe, take a look at this. She's been to Wakanda, Ubar, Egypt, Azadistan, the Sank Kingdom, even the Angel Islands. All the girls were shocked, even Hibiki, who thought she had been to a lot of places. Well, yeah, you've certainly been to quite a few places.
Never know these days.
Yae, how in the world have you been around the world so much? Asked Ochako. Yae lifted her head up slightly. My dad's work has us moving around a bit. I once visited 5 different countries in a single day. I'm used to moving a lot. How in the world am I going to survive like this? Calm down, Ye, said Melissa, trying to comfort her friend.
I ran out of bullets.
Melissa, I don't know if I can do this, said Ye with crocodile tears. Come on, Ye, I know you got this. We can get through it together. Ye looked at her friend. Okay, she said before she noticed something on the ground. She picked it up, showing the table a solid metal knife. When did I make this? Did you make it during the exam? Said Melissa. As Hibiki eyed the knife from across the table. You know this is fun and all, but we should probably leave here soon. It is getting late. That's when the girls noticed it was sunset. Holy crap, said Setsuna as she checked her phone. Have we really been talking this long? Time flies when you're having fun, said Pony. Before we leave, can I get your contact info? As the girls began to trade contact information, Melissa noticed something odd on her phone, but for the time being ignored it for the time being as she said goodbye to the girls of Class 1B. Is something wrong, Ye? Asked Ochako as she walked with Ye and Melissa. I don't know, she said as she continued to stare at the knife. Because of my quirk, I try to keep track of everything I make, and I don't remember at all making this knife. Hey Melissa, do you remember me at all making anything or showing off my quirk? Melissa? Both girls turned to see Melissa glued to her phone as she furiously typed onto the screen. Both girls looked over her shoulders to see her staring at several charts on the screen. Yo Earth to Melissa, said Ye, shaker her shoulder. You okay? No, she said quietly. I think we were attacked. Huh? What do you mean? Asked Ochako. Take a look at these charts. You can clearly see that for 20 minutes there was no information being transferred from my heart monitor to my phone. Melissa showed the chart to her friends where they say a blank space on the chart. Before Ochako asked about the monitor. My quirk has a bit of a drawback that it messes with my heart. Ever since then I've had a heart rate monitor monitoring my heart just in case anything goes wrong. For 20 minutes it kept running but didn't transfer any information. I custom built this phone and programmed it myself. So I know it works, but for 20 minutes while we were at the cafe it completely lost all data functions. Physically it's fine, but someone somehow messed with the data. Not only with my phone but also with my heart monitor. Someone did something to use, and I'm sure if I checked you phones I would find something similar. Ochako was now panicking. Why would someone do that? Melissa is the daughter of a rich genius and the niece of a pro hero. We are student of a hero school and me and Izuku have pissed off a lot of criminals, said Ye before she smiled. Looks like these 3 years may not be too boring after all. Ye, this is serious, said Ochako. We should tell someone about this. Melissa comforted Ochako. Don't worry, Ochako, we know people that will help us out. Though I would like to examine your phone as well. Would your parents mind if you spend the night? I don't live with my parents. My family lives too far away for me to go to UA and live with them at the same time. Perfect, said Ye, wrapping an arm around Ochako's shoulders. You'll stay with us for now. We'll have each other back, before pointing to Melissa. While you find me something to hunt. What? You guys want me to move in with you? Right now, said Ochako while her mind was swirling at how sudden all of this was. It will be the best way to have your back just in case things go sideways. Me and Melissa will be there and we will have Izuku living next door. Izuku. Ochako's face began to warm. And as a bonus you can live with us rent-free. Rent-free. For someone who was trying to save money, this was a dream. But what about all my stuff? Don't worry, I think there's someone who can help us out with that, said Melissa. Come on out, fun size, said Ye as Melissa held out her bag as a tiny Yui jumped out before changing to her regular size. Apologize, said Yui. I too noticed something strange as I called my parents. Apparently they have been trying to get a hold of me for a while. Then I remembered how Ye couldn't remember making the knife. That's when I knew something was up and deduced that you two were the most likely targets, but I did not have enough information to go to the authorities, so I decided the best course of action would be to hide close to you guys just in case something were to happen.
Damn, bro, this has
So you hide in Melissa's bag, said Ochako. Yes, and I agree with Ye, it would be good if you stayed with someone else, so I would be happy to help you move. Something definitely happened. This was not just our imagination. Someone was most definitely targeting our group and they may attack again. Hibiki walked down the street. As she walked down the street, the more her anger grew. Those brats, how dare they make me look like a fool, even though they won't remember what happened, they made me look like an idiot. She thought as she walked down the street. Woohoo baby, what are you doing out here all on your own? Hibiki looked over to see two young men that looked like they were just out of high school approached her. She could tell the one that spoke to her was looking at her up and down. How about you let us walk you home? What do you say? Dude, stop, said his friend. She's wearing a UA uniform. Oh, I don't mind, said Hibiki with her sweetest smile. I could use your help. This way, as she turned into the alley. The boy grinned from ear to ear. You see, dude. Some high school girls know how to have fun. He was unable to finish as Hibiki kicked his head into the wall. Before his friend could say a word, she kicked him into the other wall of the alley. You bitch, he said between coughs as blood filled his mouth. I'll call the cops, you crazy bitch. You hear me, Al? What the? As the man checked his phone, showing a laughing robot rat skull on the screen. You can thank Rat Trap for that one. He's taking control of all of the electronics in the area, she said as she looked down at the man with darkness in her eyes. Rat Trap? Wah! The boy heard a squeak, and when he looked down and saw a small cybernetic rat. A rat robot? It's his quirk actually, said Hibiki as she grabbed the back of his head. His head began to vibrate so fast and violently that he began to bleed out of his eyes and ears. After a few seconds, Hibiki dropped the man to the ground so she could pick up her phone that was ringing. Hello, grandfather, she spoke into the phone. I'm sorry, but today I failed. I've infiltrated several schools and none of them have I had any problems this quickly. No, I can still go through with the mission. I had Rufus and Oxnard mess with their minds. Even if they are suspicious, they won't be able to tell that it was me. Yes, I underestimated them, to be honest. I thought they would be like the other private schools that I infiltrated. I won't make that mistake again. I will complete the mission. Yes, I understand. I will clear my schedule so we can talk. Hey, what happened? Said the boy. She kicked into the wall as he saw his friend on the ground. Buddy, what did you do, bitch? Before he could get close, he noticed something was moving in her uniform as a snake slithered out of her uniform. Fear paralyzed the man, but before he could speak, the snake struck him, silencing him. Don't worry, grandfather, there won't be any more complications, she said as she walked out of the alley. Besides, I have my little friends to hide the evidence, as the shadows of the alley began to move and form a giant animal jaw swallowing the two bodies, leaving nothing behind. Don't worry, I'll be home soon for some tea. Everything will be just fine. Chapter 18, Schools in Session. Hibiki checked herself as she was about ready to head to school. Uniform check. Hidden weapons check. All animals accounted for as she looked around and noticed all of her friends sitting around the room and what she thought was a pathetic excuse for a house. Her family had bought it for her stay at UA, which she thought was unnecessary. She may have had a setback yesterday, but she didn't think she would be staying longer than 2 weeks at the school. Honestly, I don't see why we just kidnap Demon Slayer or one of his friends and make them tell us what we want to know, she said out loud to nobody. She sighed for a second before continuing. Our family has done things like that before, so why not now? Well, Grandpa, are you coming out now or are you going to follow me all the way to school? The old man chuckled as he appeared in the open area of the room. Very good, granddaughter. I was beginning to think that you were losing your touch. Hibiki got angry at the sound of that. I underestimated them. I thought they were the usual private school students. I won't make that mistake again. The elderly man looked at his granddaughter while stroking his beard. You know, I once made a mistake myself. Made a fool of myself, especially when I lost to a burker with atomic farts. Hibiki laughed at that.
He thought he was joking.
Wait, what? And let's not forget your father. On a mission to Italy, he fell into an entire tank of tomato sauce. Hibiki kept laughing at that memory. I remember that he smelled like tomatoes for a month. We've all made mistakes, Hibiki. I know better than anyone else how well you've taken the family business. Like a fish to water, and I'm proud of everything you've accomplished in your short time. So don't let this one mistake get you down. Hibiki and her grandfather shared a hug. Don't worry, I won't.
Try a different angle.
I'll play the long game. That's my girl.
Yeah, try this one.
This mission is connected personally to our family, so the smoother this goes, the better. Yes, sir, said Hibiki. UA and Demon Slayer's secrets will be ours. Morning, young Midoriya, said Toshinori. All Might, what are you doing here, said Izuku, a little surprised to see him at his apartment. Well, I need a quick word with you and the girls real quick about class today. Izuku nodded real quick before getting it. So you're teaching class today? What? Toshinori looked left and right before leaning towards Izuku. How'd you know I was teaching today? It wasn't that hard to figure out, said Izuku with a sweat drop. I'm guessing you don't want people to know we know you and who you really are, right? Yeah, that's right, said All Might. I don't want people thinking I started teaching at UA just because Melissa is there, and despite our relation I'm going to be treating her like all the other students. I understand, and I think Melissa would have an issue if you gave her better treatment than others. As for Ye, I can give her a talk, but to be honest I don't think that will be necessary. What do you mean? Sup, Skeletor. Both All Might and Izuku turned to see Ye ready for school. I think I see what you mean, said All Might as he realized that after the mountain incident that he pissed her off to where she wouldn't call him All Might anytime soon. Morning, Izuku, said Ochako. How are you doing this morning? Ochako, said Izuku, a little surprised. I'm doing fine, but what are you doing here this early in the morning? All Might was also curious as he saw another girl along with Melissa exit the apartment. At first he was a bit alarmed before he noticed that she too was wearing a UA uniform. You guys had a sleepover on the first day? Something like that, said Ye. Hey Melissa, your Uncle Skeletor is here. Hey Uncle Toshinori, what are you doing here? Asked Melissa as she locked the apartment. Oh, I just wanted to talk to you guys for a second and see how you guys were doing. Already having a sleepover, he said, gesturing to Ochako and Yui. My name is Yui Kodai, sir. I'm a fellow student of UA and in Class 1B, said Yui, introducing herself. I was just staying the night. Ochako was their new roommate. It took both Izuku and All Might to register what she said. Wait, what? Yep, said Ye, grinning and putting an arm around Ochako, making the girl give a weak smile. Gravity Cheeks is staying with us. All Might raised an eyebrow. Ooh, KK. There's a story here, isn't there? Yes, there is, said Melissa. I could be wrong, but something may have happened last night. After
Hey,
Melissa told
over
him
there.
an all night what happened last night, he was a bit on edge. They agreed since there was no
Behind
solid
us.
evidence there was little they could do. Though he did have plans to talk to Yashiro and see if there is anything they could do, or maybe Tomo may have a quirk that they could use. Though it did little to calm his nerves, and he wasn't alone. Both Melissa and Ochako had it on the mind. The only one that seemed unaffected was Yae. She was sleeping in the middle of class. So this is the famous vigilante and friends. Midoriya and Shield seem to be paying attention, but that girl hasn't paid attention once since class started. She went right to sleep. Though I guess this was better than I expected. I thought those three would be causing problems, that they were already heroes and didn't need this. Guess it's time to bring her down to earth and show her that she doesn't know everything, thought Present Mike. Oh come on little listener, said their English teacher Present Mike, as he made his way to Yae. Don't make me do this.
No, you're good.
ZZZZZZZZZ. Alright, you asked for it. DJ says wake up, he shouted right next to her, scaring her, causing her to jump 10 feet in the air. When she landed, she stared daggers at Present Mike. What was that for? Let this be a lesson to all of you. No sleeping in class. I want you all to be able to speak English by the end of the year.
Okay, weird.
That includes you, he said the last part in English. Yae continued to stare at him like he was an idiot. She then waved her finger at him, signaling to him to come closer. She then grabbed his collar and in perfect English. Yo, DJ idiot, I already know English. Present Mike then was able to free himself from Ye's grip before rubbing his own ears. Though continued in English. Why'd you scream in my ear? Because you screamed in mine. You should be paying attention. I know this stuff already, she said, as most of the other students just stared as not understanding a word they were saying. Actually, why am I taking English? Hey Izuku, Melissa, why are we here? Izuku sighed. Before he too spoke perfect English. Yae is first years, we have to take the first year classes, and for us that includes history, math, art, science, heroics, and English. Even though some of us know those subjects, we still have to take them. Present Mike was in shock and his face showed it. With how well he was paying attention, he had assumed that the prodigal demon slayer didn't know a foreign language. Yae looked at Izuku and Melissa. You two aren't even paying attention, are you? Hey, I'm catching up on my Japanese, said Melissa in Japanese while holding up a Japanese language book. Wait, you two, said Present Mike, finally reverting back to Japanese. I'm from America. English was my first language. Present Mike composed himself, not allowing himself to be defeated just yet. Well, you three still need to pay attention so you know how to do the assignments in the book. Yae shoved her book in his face, showing it was completely filled. What you already did every assignment in the book, as he began to furiously turn the pages. He didn't read every answer, but even the ones he did read, he could tell that they were right. You even filled out the poetry section, in French. Well, it asked me what I thought the best poem was, but I didn't think it had the same impact translated to English or Japanese, so I thought I should write it in French. Sir, said Melissa, getting their attention. Ye's been all over the world. She knows several different languages. She actually has a real talent for it. A shocked Present Mike looked at Melissa before looking at Izuku, who nodded. Yeah, but we handed these out like a week before school started. How in the world did you complete it already? Yae began to pout. I got grounded for trying to bring back the dinosaurs. HUH, said the class unanimously. Melissa could barely contain her laughter as Izuku began to chuckle at the memory. After the UA exam, Yae was bored, and when she told Eri about the giant robot, Eri asked if it was as big as a dinosaur. which gave Ye the idea to try and use Eri's quirk to give her a dinosaur to hunt in exchange for giving Eri 100 cookies. They got all the way to the museum before Yushiro stopped them. Her father even told Yushiro to put her under house arrest. Though on the bright side, with Yushiro's help she did get a jump start on her classes. Anyway, I don't know why you're so shocked, said Ye. Izuku and Melissa have both completed the book as well. Present Mike looked at Izuku. Well, I kind of have been learning English for 2 years now. I wanted to see how much of the book I could complete and I kind of finished it. He then turned to Melissa. I just wanted to get it over with. Present Mike had been defeated by the prodigies. He then went back to teaching the class with a dark cloud over his head, while one student was glaring daggers at Ye for the remainder of the class. Though that quickly changed as the next few periods showed Ye's greatest weakness: math. She quickly struggled with subjects like math and science, though that's where Izuku and Melissa picked up the pace. For Izuku, it showed how well Yushiro was as a teacher. No one would have guessed that Izuku took 2 years off from school. Now it was time for the class every student was looking forward to. I'm coming through the door like a normal person, screamed All Might as he entered the classroom in his Silver Age costume. Whoa, it's All Might. He's really our teacher. This is the best, said several students who were shocked to see that the rumors were true and he was their hero course teacher. All right, settle down class. Settle down, said All Might. As you can guess, I will be your instructor for today's hero course and we have quite a bit to cover today, so without further ado, he hit a button on a remote that showed several cases on the wall. It's time for you all to look the part. Grab your case and meet up at Training Ground Beta. The moment he was done, everyone rushed for their case with excitement. Most of them rushed to the changing room while others took their time to check their gear. It was time for them to finally train to be heroes. I don't know why I'm surprised you two are the first ones here, said All Might, greeting Izuku and Ye. Sup, Johnny Bravo. Well, both of us haven't had much changes to our gear, said Izuku as he was in his Demon Slayer outfit and Ye had her custom hunting gear on. Though both had been a bit modified with a few ideas from Melissa and the students from the support course, but the overall appearance stayed the same. Not to mention, we both have had a bit of practice to put our gear on quickly. Well, it looks like they weren't too far behind you, said All Might as the other students came out of the tunnel wearing their hero costume. None of them could deny they looked quite impressive in their costumes. Yes, now all of you are looking like real heroes. Wait, shouldn't there be one more? I'm right here, said Melissa, running out of the tunnel. Her hero costume took a lot of inspiration from All Might's Silver Age costume, but instead of red lines and red trim it was pink, and instead of a star on her chest it was replaced with a pink heart, and instead of a cape Melissa was sporting an open vest. Ye whistles. Looking good, Melissa. I was wondering what you would come up with. Though it looks like you drew a bit from Johnny over there, she thumbed to All Might who was looking away. Okay, I know your father made my suit, but don't you think it's a little too obvious? Melissa thought All Might noticed the similarities from the outfit he was wearing right now and the one Melissa was wearing. Now I think Melissa has a few tricks up her sleeves, said Izuku, taking a look at Melissa. Those are new glasses, aren't they? Yep, said Melissa, pressing the rim of the glasses as they morphed into a pair of goggles. She tapped them again and they turned into a domino mask. Ye's eyes sparkled. Whoa, that's so cool. What else you got? Melissa grinned with pride as she tugged her vest, showing several buttons on the inside of it.
Oh, behind.
I got quite a few tricks up my sleeves to show you guys. That's amazing. Your guys' costumes look great, said Ochako.
B3, let's roll.
Honestly, now I wished I did a little bit more with mine, or at least told them not to make mine so tight.
Yeah, pull a vehicle, let's go B3.
Oh, don't worry, I can adjust it if you want. I do have a support license, said Melissa. While Izuku was trying not to stare at Ochako's costume when he noticed something.
Say that.
Where's Ye?
It's right here.
Man, the hero course is the best, said Mineta, drooling as he was staring at the girls in their costumes and taking mental pictures of their assets. What you looking at? Mineta froze as the voice sent a shiver down his spine. He slowly turned around, coming face to face with Ye, twirling a knife in one and the other with one of her pistols. Though what scared him the most was her face, as it was sporting a nasty grin and her eyes were that of a predator that was about to play with its food. Him. Alright, student, time to get class going. So pay attention, it's time for your first hero exercise, said All Might, getting everyone's attention.
He's on ping.
Saved by the bell, said Ye, leaving Mineta to his tears. Today's training will be a battle trail between two teams of two.
Turn around.
One team will be the villains and the other the heroes.
There we go, we got bodies.
The villains have planted a bomb somewhere in the building, and heroes must either capture the bomb or the villains to win the match. The villains win the match by either capturing the heroes or keeping them from the bomb until the clock runs out.
Two more.
Sir, how will we determine the teams? Asked Ida, raising his hands. The teams will be selected at random, and before you ask, there will be 2 teams of 3, and the fights between the teams will also be selected at random. Now let's see who will be teaming up with who. As All Might pressed another remote, showing a hologram that began spinning like a slot machine before the students' faces started pairing up and getting letters attached to them. Team A, Ye and Ojiro. Team B, Mina and Tokayami. Team C, Jiro and Ochako. Team D, Aoyama and Izuku and Koda. Team E, Shota and Shoji. Team F, Tenya and Bakugo and Mineta. Team G, Momo and Toru. Team H, Denki and Sato. Team I, Suro and Melissa. Team J, Kirishima and Tsuyu. All Might, sir, said Izuku, raising his hand. Are you sure these results are alright? What? Yelled Bakugo. Are you trying to say, Deku, that you're too good to have 2 teammates? You think you're above? Well, I'll be happy to take you and all the other teams all at once right here, right now. Geez, calm down, Chihuahua, said Ye. There was a pause in the air after Ye's comment.
Big tank's coming.
Bakugo slowly turned around to Ye. In a low growling voice spoke through clenching teeth. Did you just call me a chihuahua? Well, you bark a lot, and for a second I thought you were like a beagle, but no, you're definitely a chihuahua.
Four's on the hill.
Everything seems to set you off, dash. I'll beat your ass, dot. See, you're even yipping like one. Say I'm a chihuahua one more time. See, she said as she brought her hands up, mimicking a dog begging. Yip yip. That's all you're doing. Bakugo was so pissed steam began to come out of his nostrils. Screw DEKU, I want to fight rifle bitch here.
Yeah, they got a whole squad on that. Whole squad there. Whole squad on that. Be careful now.
Oh, the chihuahua wants to play, said Ye as she reached for her rifle.
Oh, shit.
I can accept that challenge. Stop it, you two, said All Might. I like a good rivalry as the next person, but today all matches are chosen at random. So let's see who the first combatants will be. The screen began to spin again, showing 2 letters before stopping. The first match will be Team A versus Team G, with Team A as the villains and Team G as the heroes.
Oh, okay.
Ye looked at the screen. That's me and Tail versus her. Ye looked over at Momo, who was shooting a glare at her. Ye's only response was to yawn, which made Momo growl in fury. Ojiro walked up to Ye. Hey, since you and I are working together, can you please do me a favor and not piss her off any more than you already have? It might make things worse in the fight, said Ojiro, trying to appeal to Ye. Why? It's just magic tits. That's it, yelled Momo as she stomped over to Ye. Stop calling me that right now. Do you just not care about other people's feelings, or did your parents just not teach you any manners? As Momo began to yell in Ye's face, Izuku quietly went to All Might. Hey, shouldn't you stop this? All Might thought for a moment as he looked at Ye. No, I don't think so. I have to agree with Yoshiro on this one. Ye needs this. Izuku gave a curious look to him before Melissa tugged on Izuku's shirt. Izuku looked at Ye. He did and saw Ye giving Momo a blank stare, one that Izuku recognized. She has no idea what's going on. Yep, said All Might as he remembered his conversation with Yoshiro he had in the hallway before class. What do you mean I should just let it happen? As a teacher I should stop all fighting that's happening in class. Yoshiro nodded in agreement. While I do agree with you that any responsible teacher should do that, this is a different case, however. Ye needs this. What do you mean? Ye's greatest weakness is her social skills. She has spent her entire life traveling from one place to another. This has been her longest time in one place. But she seems to be doing just fine. She even made a new friend from another class. While that may be true, in her mind she is still just a visitor. You see, despite her brash nature, her parents did teach her manners and how to respect others. Though that only goes for when she's visiting another place. She has been around several different cultures and people, and when around them she will be the perfect visitor, cause in her mind it's easier to be polite for a few days and forget about people than be herself and have to deal with problems long term. For example, you've been to Europe, correct? Yes, I went there to help out an old friend. Then can you tell me if you acted the same as if you were here or in America? All Might was beginning to see where he was going with this. No, I acted more polite and adhered to the laws of the country I was in. He remembered while he was in America how he saw a few citizens stop a villain. In the States, quirks have more freedom than they do here in Japan. Even vigilantes were viewed differently and more accepted in other countries than Japan. Slowly but surely Ye's wild nature is slowly coming out, because for once she isn't traveling and I don't want to bottle that up. She needs to accept it and learn how to be social as herself and not as a visitor. Alright, I see what you mean. I'll let it happen, but if it goes too far I'm stopping it. That's fair, but look at it this way, it might be beneficial for the class as well. What do you mean? Yoshiro grinned. What do you just think you're better than us, said Momo. Ye scratched her head. Well, kind of. Yeah. I think so. Momo stared at Ye's expressionless face. You are really making me mad. Okay, that's enough fighting in here. It's time you take the fight into the training grounds, said All Might. Villain team, you have a 5-minute head start to prepare for your defenses. Okay, said Ye as she made her way to the exit. Come on, Tail, let's go. My name's Ojiro. Ye, said Izuku, getting her attention. Don't use your quirk. The room went silent as they heard Izuku's request of Ye. Before one of them could utter a word, she simply shrugged and said okay, before walking out to the training grounds. Wait dude, are you serious? Said Kirishima. You want her to fight quirkless? Are you sure she'll be okay? Asked Ochako. What kind of dumbass plan is that, Deku? Said Bakugo. Are you pitying me? Asked Momo, giving Izuku a serious stare. What, do you think I can't handle her on my own? I am your teammate, said Toru, but Momo was angry and ignored her. Izuku looked back at Momo for a moment to pick his words. This will be good for her. And you. Momo kept staring at him after that statement. Toru then came up to her partner. Come on
Right
Momo,
behind
we
you,
should
Dolo.
get ready
They'll
as
have
well.
another
She
tank
wordlessly
pulling up.
turned towards the exit. Momo, said Melissa, whatever you do don't hold back. She didn't respond and kept walking. Well,
Got it.
this should be interesting.
I just got sniped.
Chapter 19 Bomb Rush.
Snipers is fucking
This isn't going to go well,
blowing it.
thought Ojiro. Both he and Ye were in the bomb room on the 5th floor of the building.
I think I had a dog behind
My
me.
partner not only has made this a personal grudge match, but she hasn't spoken once since we got here.
One tank down.
Does she even want to cooperate with me? She doesn't even call me by my name.
That shit locked down. You
Hey,
gotta-
this thing is
right,
made
you
out
gotta
of
do it.
paper,
You gotta
said
play
Ye,
the same
examining the
game.
bomb,
That's how you gotta do it.
as she lifted it
You
with
gotta have
ease.
shit all on the wall, so you
Ah,
can-
yeah, it's not like they would give us a real bomb, said Ojiro.
Bad ego, child.
It's easy for us to move and come up with a good strategy. Ye wordlessly grabbed the bomb and put it in the corner of the room.
Right now, lit.
What are you doing? Ye then grabbed her knife and stabbed the wall and began to run around the room. She then started hitting the pillars and carving out rocks from the ground and walls. What are you doing? She then looked up at the ceiling and saw the vent. She tied a rope to her knife and wrapped it around the vents and pulled them down. Ye began to move the various pieces of the fallen ventilation shaft around along with the rocks she made.
Alright.
There we go. That should do it.
Stay with yours 'cause you gotta
It took Ojiro a second to realize what she had just done. You made rings of dust and debris on the floor so the invisible girl couldn't sneak up here.
I just respawned.
That's a
back.
great idea. What are you doing? As Ojiro turned to Ye, taking off her jacket, boots, and most of her gear, leaving her in her cargo pants, tank top, and bandana.
Ooh, I got shot with
I already had planned on going hand to hand with them downstairs, so I won't be needing my equipment at all.
To them.
You're going to fight quirkless and weaponless, said Ojiro in total disbelief.
Grenade behind me.
Yay, I've seen footage of you in action on TV, but don't you think you're taking our opponents too lightly?
Dude, for real.
Yayorozu got in on recommendation, and who knows what trick the invisible girl has. Are you even listening to me?
27 on that map.
She wasn't. Ye was too busy thinking about her confrontation with Momo from earlier. Izuku and Melissa never got angry when I said stuff like that before. Neither did any of my dad's friends. I've only known this girl for a day, so why is it bothering me this much? I never cared when I was talking to Flame Face. Maybe it's because I know now that I'm going to have to deal with her for a while. Even before that I wasn't very nice. Why wasn't I nice? I've been acting differently since I came back
Bro,
to
what the fuck?
Japan.
She's trying to suck me in, bro.
It's weird.
Nah, stop playing.
Why the hell am I even thinking about this, she said, as she began to walk away. Wait, said Ojiro, stepping in front of her. Are you seriously going to go down there? We haven't even come up with some sort of plan. Easy.
Shit, man.
You wait up here for Invisible Girl while I go down and play with magic tits for a bit, as she walked past him. That's not really much of a plan, he said, giving up and letting her do what she wants. Hey, before I go, make sure to pay attention to the floor and her footsteps. I'm only going to play with them for a bit, so you might have something to do. Alright Toru, you have the building layout memorized, asked Momo as they were looking over the map. Yeah, I think I got it, said the gloves, giving a thumbs up.
There's one left.
Okay, so here's the plan. Chances are Ye is going to get cocky and come at me first. While I distract her, you head upstairs and look for the bomb. When you find it, sneak past Ojiro with your invisibility and we'll win for sure. Got it, but Momo, do you really think you can beat her? Momo thought for a moment. I don't know, but if she thinks she can take me without her quirk, then I know I can get her surprise.
From the sky right now.
I just need to watch out for any
Yeah, they're
weapons
in
she
there.
might have.
Guy with the shotgun.
Attention, your 5 minutes are up. You may begin the Battle City training, came All Might's booming voice. Let's go, said Momo as they made their way inside the front
You
door.
respawn on me or no?
No.
They
they're in
carefully
combat.
checked the entrance. When they were sure it was clear, they slowly made their way inside. The entire way was quite open, so it gave them plenty of options. Looks like they did lay any traps down in the front. Wait, Momo. Do you hear that? Said Toru. Momo stopped and listened for a moment. Then she could hear a slight slapping noise. It sounds like footsteps and bare footsteps at that. They both looked down the hall where the sound was coming from to see Ye casually walking towards them. Sup?
Second place.
Momo stood there for a moment dumbfounded as she scanned her opponent. Bandana on her head, a tank top, and just her pants.
I feel like
Not at all.
You came here with nothing.
I got shit.
Yeah.
I got shit on that game.
All the anger that Momo had earlier came back with a vengeance.
all we gotta do is just stay group.
Do you think that?
If someone die, play for the red.
Little of us, of me. That you would fight us quirkless and without any weapons, tricks, or gear. Ye raised an eyebrow. Can't you tell the difference between us? I mean, I am a lot stronger than you. For a moment Momo thought for once she went blind with rage. In a low voice Toru, go on ahead. I need to teach her some manners, with fire in her eyes as she materialized her bow staff. Toru shifted a bit before making a run past Ye, who did nothing to stop her. Ye was just wondering what Momo was doing. I've fought off poachers before and several fighters from tribes, land, and countries from around the world. Even they could tell at a glance what level of strength I was at. Can she not tell? Isn't she a warrior? Ye began to step forward while Momo made a silent charge as she began swinging at Ye. Ye dodged each strike Momo made. She's definitely been trained before, but I don't think she's been in a real fight before or even in a serious spar before. Well, let's see how she handles a few simple maneuvers, thought Ye as she changed up her dodging. She still kept dodging, but each time she moved closer and closer into Momo's personal space. Momo realized what she was doing. I underestimated her. I guess I shouldn't fight fair if I want to win, as from her shoulder she materialized a flashbang. She made sure to close her eyes before it went off so she could keep her sight. I've practiced this move several times. When I can see again I'll give her a quick strike, and like she thought when Momo opened her eyes she saw Ye standing there rubbing her eyes. Now's my chance. Momo made a big swing at who still couldn't see, but something happened. She didn't hit anything. Now you're just embarrassing yourself, said Ye as she put her left hand on Momo's back. That's when Momo realized in that brief moment Ye was able to get right behind her. Though Momo wasn't done yet as she swung her right arm at Ye while materializing a tonfa. Though it did little as Ye caught it with her hand. Please tell me that Ye's instincts instantly shouted at her that she was actually in danger. Ye jumped away as the tonfa lit up with electricity. A stunned tonfa, clever. So you do have some tricks, huh? Momo grit her teeth as she realized that Izuku and Melissa weren't exaggerating at all. Ye was good, but she didn't need to beat her to win. Momo then began to make several matryoshka dolls. Alright, I'll give you this battle, but I'm going to be the one that wins the war, she said as she threw the dolls at Ye. Ye had been to Russia before and knew what a matryoshka doll was, but instead of another doll inside of it there was something else. Grenade. Holy crap, that was a legit grenade, said Denki as he and the others in the viewing room watched as several grenades exploded in front of Ye, blocking the view of the camera. I think she might be hurt. Well duh, said Zero.
I got it.
No one can take grenades and come out okay. Shut it, said Jiro as she pointed to Izuku and Melissa, who looked worried. Ochako put a hand on Melissa to try and comfort her. Don't worry, she's tough, she can recover from this. Sir, shouldn't we stop this, said Ida. One of our classmates is injured. All Might looked at the class. What are you talking about? Yayorozu isn't injured yet, said Izuku, confusing everyone. Is Momo going to be okay? Asked Melissa with concern in her voice. Ye's not going to go too hard on her, is she? Of course, said Izuku, faking a smile. Yae can control herself and that shouldn't have been enough to get her serious. Hopefully. Mina looked at them. Okay, we're missing something here. Look, said Sato, pointing at the screen. The screen showed the smoke clearing and Yae standing in the middle of the room without a single scratch on her. How? There's no way she should have come out of that unscathed, shouted Denki. She dodged it, said Bakugo, getting their attention. You losers can't see worth shit. She used the walls and vents to dodge the explosions.
Oh.
Very good, young Bakugo, said All Might, pressing some buttons on the computer, showing a replay of the explosion. To the untrained eye it might be hard to spot, but here you can clearly see Yae running towards the wall and using it to get to the ceiling where she used the lights to hold onto, and the nearby ventilation duct as a shield from the blast. Everyone stood there stunned that she was able to dodge the explosions. Shoto said what everyone was thinking. She's good. Wait, is she shaking? Asked Denki as he noticed Yae slightly shaking. Izuku slowly shook his head. All Might, is there any way for us to hear what's going on down there? All Might hit a button. Hee ha ha ha, they heard Yae as she began to laugh.
Still in the smoke, still in the smoke.
I was afraid of that. Yae's laugh was beginning to scare Mineta. Why is she laughing like that? What do you know, said Yae through the speakers. She actually had the guts to use force against me. She might be more fun than I thought. Oh no, said Melissa, she's on the hunt. Momo continued to run up the stairs to the 3rd floor of the building. As she was assessing the current situations. I've blocked all the paths up to the 2nd floor, so there's no way to get up to the next few floors in the time it will take us to find and secure the bomb. If we move quickly and if she sticks to fighting without a quirk, then we can win. As Momo turned the corner, she saw Toru coming from the next hallway. Toru, have you found the bomb? Yayorozu, said Toru. Not yet, but I've checked the 2nd and 3rd floor. All that's left is the 4th and 5th floor. Did you beat Yae? What happened? I'm afraid not, but I did make it so that she's stuck on the lower floors. So if we can move quick enough, we should be able to get to the bomb without anything hindering our path. Momo waited for a response, but instead Toru just raised one of her gloves, pointing to the window outside. Momo slowly turned to see Yae crouching on a light post outside of the building. She climbed the light post. To the people watching would tell you it was more of a jump and less of a climb. Yae grinned at the two as she crouched lower, and both Toru and Momo without saying a word ran for the stairwell as she jumped through the window. Neither of the girls saw Yae, but the sound of glass breaking was enough to make them both beat their sprinting record. What the hell is SHE? Asked Toru.
Oh, you did it.
I don't know, but it's time to stop underestimating her, said Momo as they turned the corner. Yae chased after them. This is more fun than I thought, but they are getting close to the bomb. So I better end this. Though these thoughts disappeared as Yae turned the corner where she saw the danger end of a cannon. Try dodging this. Momo pulled the cord, firing the cannon. Everyone saw as the cannonball sailed down the hallway, exploding at the end, creating a huge cloud of smoke. Did I get her? I can't tell.
Bro, I hate that shotguns, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You killed her, screamed Toru. As the smoke began to clear, Momo could see that only the bottom half of Yae remained standing while her top half was nowhere to be seen. Oh, I really did kill her.
Bravo.
What are you screaming about, magic tits? I'm not dead. As the smoke cleared, both girls screamed again at the sight of Yae's head being between her legs. Will you stop that? But how? It took the girls a second to realize that Yae had bent back so far she was able to put her upper body below her legs. How? Asked Toru in disbelief. As Yae bent herself back up without even grabbing her left leg, she was able to put it behind her head. I'm flexible. This resulted in both girls to stare in disbelief as they realized she dodged the cannon by bending under it. "That's so unfair," said Toru. "No," said Momo. "I'm not done yet," as she threw several small bombs at the ceiling, causing it to collapse. "We need to get that bomb now."
She better just join mid-game.
It didn't take long for the girls to find the bomb room with Ojiro standing in front of the bomb ready to fight. Momo saw the room and came up with a plan. "Hagakure, I'll distract him, you head for the bomb." "Got it." "I'm not going to let you have the bomb that easy," said Ojiro. "We are going to win T-dash." "Here's why," said Yae as she slammed into Momo with enough force to knock her to the ground. "Did you really think blocking one path would be enough to slow me down?" Momo didn't answer as she struggled to get up. Yae sighed, walked, and crouched in front of Momo. Momo glared at Yae with drops of terror in her eyes. Yae reached down and grabbed a small rock. "I admit I took you way too lightly. You've done a lot better than I thought you would, and there's room for improvement." Momo didn't know where she was going with this. Thinking can be good or bad. Just like any weapon, your mind can be your greatest asset. You sharpened it quite well in the dojo, but you haven't used it outside just yet, have you? Where is she going with this, thought Ojiro, surprised at his partner's actions. "And don't worry, you're not the only one," said Yae, quickly standing and throwing the rock. The rock hit the wall, but everyone heard a small eep sound. "What are you doing, Tail? She was sneaking right by you." "How she was?"
Got one.
"Wait, how did you know where I was?" said Toru, surprised she was almost hit. Yae groaned. "Before I walked up to Magic Tits, I heard you taking off your gloves and shoes, and even though you avoid most of the mess on the floor, I could still tell where you were. You have absolutely no idea how to erase your presence," said Yae as she walked towards Toru, ignoring all of the debris on the ground. "Do you even know how to be dash?" Toru waited for Yae to say something, though for the first time in a long time someone was actually looking at Toru straight in the eyes. It would take a while knowing a new person for them to be able to know where her eyes were. Yae, what are you?" Yae reached out and grabbed her chest. My boob, why would you grab that?" "You're naked, why are you naked?" said Yae, examining the invisible girl. "You're in a combat zone and you're naked." She began to pat the girl, causing her to squeak and yelp in embarrassment. "Stop that. You actually came into a fight naked. Do you have any idea what would have happened if I used my weapons or Magic Tits when a little too explosion happy? Do you even realize how dangerous this is?" said Yae while looking into the girl's eyes, which unnerved the girl. Toru didn't know how to respond, so Yae slapped her butt. "Hey Tail, can you believe this girl came here naked?" Ojiro's face was slowly turning red, both of embarrassment and the fact that his partner was screwing around. "Yae, we are in the middle of a match, can you please take this seriously and not sexually harass Hakagure? Hey, this is a fight. In fights you grab and hit other people, so giving good advice here about going into a fight naked, and secondly there's only 40 seconds left. We already won." "What?" said the three simultaneously. "Yeah, I've been counting since the start of the match. We got 32 seconds left," said Yae. Momo grit her teeth and summoned as much strength as she could and made a dash to the bomb. Ojiro got back into his fighting stance to intercept, but Yae beat him to it as she sent a kick at Momo. Momo saw this and tried to back away, only to be surprised as Yae's legs extended and kicked her in the head. The last thing Momo saw, Yae's leg dangling in an odd way. She really is a monster. "Momo," yelled Toru as she went to check her teammate. "Time's up, the villain team wins," yelled All Might over the speakers. I was 3 seconds off," said Yae. "What happened to your leg?" said Ojiro, pointing to Yae's leg. "That isn't your quirk, is it?" Nope, said Ye, grabbing her leg and slamming it into the ground, making a popping noise.
Oh.
I dislocated the bones in my leg to give myself a bit of reach and a little bit of power.
We got somebody in
You
there
just
somewhere.
beat 2 students single-handedly without using your quirk, said Ojiro.
Huh?
You're one crazy girl, Ye. Ye gave him a grin as she grabbed her things. Alright class, who can tell me who was the MVP of the match, asked All Might to the class. The class went silent to the question as it was kind of obvious who the MVP was. It was Ye, sir, said Melissa. She more or less had control of the entire match straight from the beginning. She could have beaten them from the start, said Bakugo, glaring at Ye. You could have just beaten the 2 of them the first time you saw them, but instead you practically played with them. Even without your quirk, you clearly have them outmatched. Ye smiled. You want to fight me next, Chihuahua? Bring it on, I'll put you in your place. You second-rate hero, said Bakugo, making a few sparks in his palms. Okay, that's enough, you two, said Izuku, stepping between them, ignoring Bakugo's glares. Though it did get Ye to calm down. I think we should move on. We do have other matches to get to. Correct, you are young Midoriya, said All Might. No, let's see who fights next. While the screen began to spin to decide the next time, Izuku walked towards Ye and Melissa. Nice job, Ye. Yeah, you really surprised us out there, said Melissa. Wait, did you guys actually think I was going to lose the match to those 2, said Ye. Not that, Ye, said Melissa, we're just surprised at how mature you acted when you gave those guys advice. We never thought you would give opponents help like that, said Izuku. You really have grown, haven't you? Ye blushed at the compliment. What are you talking about? They need to get better if they want to be worthy. Pray for me. Izuku and Melissa continued to smile at their friend. The next round will be Team F versus Team C, said All Might. Momo began to stir in the nurse's office as she regained consciousness. It didn't take her long to realize that she lost to Ye. She really is that much stronger than me. Am I that weak? She is strong, but you're not weak either. Momo turned to see a woman in a kimono standing at the door. How are you feeling, Miss Yayorozu? Momo sat up in the bed. I'm doing better, and I don't mean to be rude, but who are you? My name is Tomo, as she went and sat on the bed. Could you please turn your head for me? Momo complied. I'm sure you guessed it already, but I'm a new faculty member of the school. I kind of figured that much. UA wouldn't allow anyone to just walk in here, said Momo, somewhat twitching away from Tomo as her head was still sore. How is it? I don't feel any blood. Tomo was closely examining her head, and unbeknownst to Momo, she was using a few quirks to check her internally. Amazing, Ye didn't damage the brain at all. She didn't even crack the bone. Nothing's broken and you should be good to go any minute. I thought when Ye rushed at a high speed to intercept you that her kick would do a lot more damage, but it seems she has a bit more control than I expected. It looks like she was aiming for your neck for a knockout rather than aiming for damage. Momo was surprised by this information, though she quickly felt depressed by it. So she really is that much stronger than me. She is, but she has had a lot more experience, and I believe that is the bigger factor in your loss. If you couldn't tell, her upbringing was not normal. Wait, are you an acquaintance of hers by any chance? Asked Momo. Tomo chuckled. I am. I've known Ye since she was a little girl. She's always been a bit of a handful. To be honest, I've always been a little surprised with how well her parents have handled her. Though I doubt you want to hear about that. You probably want to hear why she's so strong. Momo nodded as her curiosity grew. You may not like it, but the reason she is so good is because she was weak. Weak? Tomo
What I
nodded.
really want is up to.
In Ye's family, metal quirks are common. I've seen her father produce entire weapons in seconds, but Ye can't.
Yeah.
She can only produce a small amount compared to her family. She would hurt herself if she tried to make a sword or axe like her father. So she found a way to use the small amount she had. Okay, that explains her quirk, but that doesn't explain how she was able to beat me without using it.
Half the game.
Yes, it does, said Tomo. Ye found a way to work around her weakness. When she faced a challenge and lost, she didn't give up, she got up and found a way. When she challenged a bear cub to a wrestling match, she lost and kept losing until she found a way to wrestle better. The same happened when she met the cheetah, the monkey, and the boar. She met every challenge and failed, but she always got up and became stronger for it. You should have seen the monster she became when she fought Izuku a second time. After her first loss, she came back easily stronger than what she was before. I believe that goes for everyone who wants to get better. So what will you do, Miss Yayarozu? Will you let this defeat get you down and drag you behind, or will you get up and meet this challenge again?
Oh yeah, when we can.
Momo thought for a moment as she remembered her loss. I have never been so defeated before. Near the end of the training, I was beginning to give up. No hesitating like this will only lead to more self-doubt. If Ye could get strong, then it should be no problem for me. I won't lose like this. Tomo smiled. She still has some doubt, but this is a good start. Tomo got up and made her way to the exit. Well then, Miss Yayarozu, I hope you fail and keep getting back up. As a medic, I say you're good enough to head back to class. Thank you. Hopefully I can learn something from the next few matches.
Speaking.
Though as she left, she almost hit someone. Oh, sorry. It's fine, but you should head back to class soon. The second match is already halfway done. Right, said Momo as she began to return to class. Wait, was that boy old enough to attend UA? He looked like a middle school student. Yashiro watched as she ran off. Nice work, Tomo. If we keep this up, she will make a fine hero someday. I couldn't agree more.
Nah, it's the FOV on there, bro.
Chapter 20 Bomb Timer. Stay still, you damn fairy, screamed Bakugo as he fired blasts aiming at Ochako, who was jumping around the room in zero gravity dodging his blasts. Currently Team F Bakugo, Tenya, and Mineta were fighting Team C Ochako and Jiro, who were the villains trying to keep the boys from the bomb. The boys had managed to locate the bomb, but since Ochako was friends with Asuka, she became his main target. Though with using her quirk on herself along with her new support items, her boost boot, she has managed to dodge his blasts while Jiro was using her headphone jacks to keep Mineta and Tenya from getting close to the bomb. This is good, thought Jiro when this match first started. I thought we would lose horrible, but if Ochako keeps distracting Bakugo, then I can at least hold these two off. We can actually win this. B.O. Beep. That's my watch, said Tenya. Bakugo, we're out of time, we only have a minute till the match ends. This got his team's attention. Recipro burst. Tenya's engine went into overdrive as he made a dash towards the bomb. Oh no you don't, said Jiro, stomping her foot on the ground.
Reloading.
Sonic wave. The sound wave that came from Reboot was so strong that not only was it able to slow Tenya down, but it was also able to tear up the floor, causing the young speedster to lose his footing, and with his engines at full power he spun out into the wall. Yes. Bakugo growled as he saw that his team was losing while he was debating whether or not to use his support items. If I use it I could blow this annoying fairy away, but the destruction it would cost might be too much, not to mention I wanted Deku to be the one I use it on. Bakugo, do something, said Mineta, who has done absolutely nothing since the start of the match, which earned a glare from Bakugo. I won't let you, said Ochako as she bounced off the ceiling, aiming right in front of Bakugo. He tried to intercept her, but luckily Ochako was reaching her limit and cancelled her zero gravity, allowing herself to fall faster than his attack, and before he could even attack again, Ochako bounced away right as Bakugo fired another explosion right where she was a second ago. I've been sparring against martial artists with triple the amount of speed you have. You're going to need to do better than that to hit me, thought Ochako, silently thanking the past months of torture at the dojo.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, even with 3 of us we lost, whined Mineta as he began to cry about the losing. This did nothing but piss Bakugo off. Stop crying, you fucking baby. Bakugo kicked Mineta like a ball, causing him to soar through the air. This caught Jiro and Ochako by surprise, and by the time they realized where Mineta was going, it was too late. Mineta crashed into the bomb. G-O-A-L-L. Cough, I mean the heroes win with 6 seconds to spare, said All Might over the speakers. The news surprised everyone, especially Bakugo, who was stunned as he had no intentions of winning like this. He just wanted to kick the crying midget. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
Oh, behind.
The 5 of them returned to the observation room, though only one of them seemed happy. Mineta puffed out his chest. You see that the hero wins, said Mineta with pride, trying to look cool. He wasn't at all. Dude, you won by getting kicked like a ball, said Denki. There's nothing cool about that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who here can tell me who was the MVP of this round, said All Might. It was Jiro, sir, said Momo from the back, getting everyone's attention as only a few noticed that she had returned from the nurse's office. Though she kept her cool from all the stares from the others. Jiro kept all 3 of them away from the bomb when they first arrived, and during the remainder of the match kept the 2 who were focused on the bomb away. Not to mention, unlike those on the winner's team, she made sure all of her ranged attacks didn't hit her teammate.
Let's get it.
She showed amazing control over her quirk and did an excellent job backing up her partner when she needed it, all while protecting the bomb. Excellent observation, young Yayorozu, but I have to ask, are you alright? Asked All Might. Don't worry, sir, I'm doing just fine. I've already been cleared by the nurse, said Momo as she looked and saw Ye eyeing her. Head on, she thought as she pointed at Ye.
Yeah, I can't see shit.
I will beat you, she declared. The whole class tensed for a second, thinking a fight may break out. Though Ye just grinned. Alright. I look forward to it. Okay, let's move along now, said All Might, spinning for the next match. The next match will be Team B versus Team J. Mina and Tokoyami versus Kirishima and Tsuyu. Kirishima saw the board. Crap. Oh. Both teams went to set up, though the villains were having a bit of trouble. Hey Kirishima, are you okay? Asked Tsuyu, noticing that her partner was looking a little depressed. Kirishima collected his thoughts for a moment. Well, it's just I don't think we can win this. Ribbit, what do you mean? I went to school with Mina and I've seen her quirk in action. She's amazing. Her acid quirk can melt through anything, and she's learned how to use it to speed up her movements. Not to mention, without her quirk she's still a force to be reckoned with. She is really athletic, and over the last few months she's just gotten better. He said. Sounds like someone has a crush. Ribbit, thought Tsuyu. Not to mention Tokoyami, continued Kirishima. I saw his dark shadow quirk yesterday in the fitness test, and it looks strong, and he can use it for mobility too. I don't see how we can face them head on. They would most likely just move around me. I may have learned to move faster, but my movement still isn't as good as theirs. Wow, no offense Kirishima, I didn't expect you to use your head so much. Ribbit. No worries. To be honest, I wish we could fight one-on-one like real men, but since I met Izuku and saw how he noticed so much, I realized I need to use my head more. Though I don't think I'm good at it. Well, I don't think we can fight head-on like you want, but we are supposed to be villains, so maybe we should take that approach and think of something tricky to throw at them, like a trap on the floor or block a path to slow them down.
Tank, man.
You know, think outside the box. Throw, floor, block, I got it.
Yeah, I mean, we got
Kirishima grinned as he hardened his arms and fists into the shape of hammers.
Sorry.
Crash. What was that? Said Mina as her and Tokoyami were outside the building. Crash, crash, crash. I sense darkness in our future, said Tokoyami as the crash noises continued. Oh. Izuku saw what Kirishima was doing and could help the sweat he was forming. All Might Sensei, is what Kirishima is doing against the rules? All Might also formed a bit of sweat. Well, no, but it will dock them some points. Well, if it works, said Melissa as they all began to sweat drop. If it's alright with you, All Might Sensei, said Izuku, I think I should head out to the building to be on standby just in case. All Might watched the screen as Kirishima continued his plan. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Oh. May the match begin, said All Might. Alright Tokoyami, let's go, said Mina ready to move. Right, said Tokoyami as they made their way towards the entrance. Dark Shadow scout our path. Got it, said Dark Shadow as he extended into the building before quickly coming back. Boss, we may have a small problem here. Both of them glanced at each other for a second before going inside just to see it blocked by a huge boulder.
It won't let me.
It would appear our path is blocked.
Okay, there we go.
I can see that, said Mina. Come on, let's go around back. They checked the other side only to find it was blocked as well. Every entrance was blocked. Okay, trying to play hard to get huh? Mina poured on the acid, clearing the entrance. Alright, we're in, now let's head up the stairs and catch. Are you kidding me? They found that the stairs too were also blocked and mostly destroyed.
It's not dropping.
The match started already, right? Asked Kirishima. What's taking them so long? Kirishima, I think you destroyed a little too much, said Tsuyu as she looked around the room as Kirishima had destroyed almost half of the floor and had used the rubble to block the paths. You did use a lot of rubble to block the way up here.
Whenever you ping, you
But I needed to block the way in so I could finish the room here, said Kirishima as he pointed around the room. Now the room is perfect. The only way they can get the bomb now is if they face us head on. Kirishima had destroyed the floor in the side of the room, only leaving the center, so the only way to get to the bomb was through Kirishima.
Yeah.
I still say you put too many rocks down. What are you talking about? I could clear those rocks with a few punches. Tsuyu gave Kirishima a long look. Kirishima, you do know that neither Tokoyami or Mina are as strong as you, right? It took a second for it to dawn on him. Ha! PSSSST. They both looked over to the door as the rocks covering it were beginning to melt. As the rock began to crumble, Kirishima and Tsuyu got ready for the fight ahead. Though they weren't expecting their opponents to be covered in dirt head to toe. Looking like they just ran a triathlon. What happened to you two? Mina gave Kirishima a death glare. Kirishima, how many holes did you make? I fell through 3 of them, she said, holding up 3 fingers. The walls would collapse by our shadows alone, said Tokoyami as he looked around the room. I'm guessing this was your doing. Kirishima began to scratch his head. Well, then I vote to cancel this match. What, said Mina, this isn't one of your darkness things, is it? No, this is the me realizing that this building has become unstable and I think we should cancel the exercise before it collapses with us in it. Agreed, said Tsuyu. Kirishima had an interesting idea, but it made this place too dangerous. It isn't that bad, said Kirishima. Is it? As if on K. The wall on the side of the building collapses, revealing Izuku standing on the roof of the next building. All Might.
See him either.
Yeah. Yeah, said All Might over the speakers.
Oh, I got flanked.
This has gotten too dangerous to safely continue with this exercise. Oh. So I got to ask, said Melissa Kirishima, what exactly were you thinking? Good question, Miss Shield, said All Might. Why did you start tearing up your own base? Kirishima began to scratch the back of his head. Well, I couldn't really come up with a plan. I'll admit I use my fist more than my brain. So when I tried to think outside the box, I couldn't really come up with anything, and then I thought maybe I could break the box. That's when I came up with the idea to smash everything and make it a head-to-head fight. I like this one, said Ye, jabbing a thumb at Kirishima. He wasn't good at the current environment, so he changed it to suit his fighting style. Not bad, Red. Not bad. True, that could work, said All Might. But destroying your own base isn't the best idea. Young Azui. Why didn't you stop him or come up with a different idea? Suyu thought for a moment. Well, sir. Kirishima mentioned that he knew Mina Ashido, so I thought he should take the lead. I see, that makes sense, said All Might. Well, we need to get things moving, so on to the next match. Team I versus Team E. Match number 4, Team I versus Team E begin, yelled All Might. Both Melissa and Zero were outside of the building when the bottom half of the building was suddenly covered in ice. Whoa, what the heck just happened, yelled Zero.
That was crazy.
Looks like Todoroki doesn't want us to get inside so easily, said Melissa as she pressed her glasses, turning it into goggles. She pressed it again, activating the thermal vision. From the scans, he's frozen all but the top half of the building. Judging by the large mass of heat from the roof, I'm guessing Shoji is on the roof keeping lookout, while the small heat signature must be Todoroki near the bomb. Wait, since when did you have X-ray vision? Asked Zero. Thermal vision actually, and let's just say that I have quite a few tricks up my sleeves, said Melissa. Okay, what about our plan? Melissa thought for a moment before coming up with a new plan. We're going to have to split up. Okay, pay attention, cause this is going to be a bit tricky. Oh. Shoji was on the roof, currently being the lookout, using his tentacles to sense if anyone was coming close. Todoroki, I hear movement coming from the side of the building, radioed Shoji as he looked down the building. It appears to be Melissa. She's running towards the building. Melissa speeds up to her top speed before jumping up the side of the building and using the ice to slide up the side of the building. The stunt stunned Shoji as he wasn't expecting her to try something like this. She used her speed to slide up the side of the building, but even so there was no way that was enough speed to make it all the way up here. Can she? He thought. As if reading his mind, she smirked at him before taking out her whip blade. The moment she began to slow down, she used her whip to attach to the unfrozen part of the building. For the second she was stopped in the air, she jumped off the side of the building with such strength to break the ice in the building to swing and pull herself inside of the building. She's inside, Todoroki. Melissa has made it inside the building. Shoji tried to warn Shoto before his ears picked up a noise. He quickly jumped out of the way as tape was launched at him. He looked over to see Zero landing on the roof. Ah dang, and here I was hoping to get you while you were distracted, said Zero. Don't think it will be that easy to take me down, said Shoji. Oh. Melissa made her way through the building as fast as she could, but of course Shoto wasn't going to let it be that easy. A huge wall of ice formed in her path. Don't think that will stop me, yelled Melissa as her whip blade wrapped around her arm. Armored Heart Punch. She punched through the wall of ice and through the wall right behind the first. She landed in the bomb room. Shoto was guarding the bomb that he had encased in ice.
conversation with you.
Well, I admit I'm impressed,
You could
said
block it.
Shoto. Not only were you fast enough to go up the side up the building, but I was only able to put up 2 walls to try and stop you. I thought your quirk was a strengthening quirk.
On top of it.
Well, it's a bit more than that, as Melissa got ready for a fight. I don't suppose I can convince you to surrender? You're kidding.
Some dumb shit.
My homie
Sorry,
ran
I
up
didn't
behind
mean
me.
to be rude or anything, I just don't like hurting others is all. Well, you don't need to be worried about me, since there's no way you can hurt me from there. Just take a look at your feet, said Todoroki. Melissa looked down to see her feet stuck in ice. My boots. While you were talking, I froze your boots. Now it's time for you to surrender unless you want me to freeze the rest of you. Melissa looked down at her feet. You don't actually think this will hold me, do you? Nope, said Shoto, putting his hand on the ground, sending a wave of ice at Melissa. Melissa quickly broke out of the ice, backflipping out of the way. Shoto kept making ice under Melissa, but she kept jumping and somersaulting away. She's moving like a pro gymnast, she keeps dodging my attacks. He thought, looks like I need to take it up a notch. Shoto then began to flash freeze the room. In a matter of seconds, the whole room was covered in ice. This also included Melissa. Looks like I overdid it. Better unfreeze her before things get bad. Shoto began to make his way to Melissa to unfreeze, though stopped when he noticed something was wrong. His ice was cracking. With a mighty roar, Melissa shattered the ice, knocking Shoto back. Shoto quickly got to his feet only to see Melissa steaming. Literally, she was giving off so much heat in a room of ice her body was giving off steam. Never thought I would have to work my heart this much. Looks like I need to end this. Melissa moved so fast for a second Shoto lost sight of her. Though like he predicted, she appeared right in front of him. Shoto summoned a wall of ice to stop her, but it was no use. She sliced the wall into pieces. She raised her weapon ready to strike. Shoto instincts took over as he used his ice to move him out of her range. Which is exactly what she wanted. Melissa used her whip and swung herself to the bomb. By the time Shoto realized it, it was too late. Melissa broke the final ice wall to the bomb. Hero team wins. Congratulations to all of you. You each did such a good job, I can't even tell who was the MVP this time, said All Might, though the losing party wasn't exactly happy about it. Shoto was taking it particularly hard. How could I lose like that? Thought Shoto, I can't lose, I have to surpass him. It looks like we are running short on time, said All Might. Time to get the final match underway. Wait, said Denki, the only 2 teams left are us, said Sato, and they both looked over to see Aoyama posing and Kota silently waving at them, and last and definitely the most to worry about was Demon Slayer. This isn't fair, said Denki through tears. We're supposed to take on a pro. I'm not a pro yet, I'm a student like you guys, said Izuku, which earned him a really look from the rest of the class. Now. All Might getting the class attention. All of you know life's not fair, and there will be times where you'll be facing odds that are not in your favor. There will be times where you must rise to the challenge and go plus ultra, so let's get the final round going. Oh. Never thought I would have to play the villain, said Izuku as he examined the bomb. So do either of you have a plan? He asked, wondering what his teammates thought. Kota began to silently sweat, waving his arms no, while Aoyama began posing again. The plan is to shine alongside such a star as yourself. So you expect me to just finish this up real quick? Kota gave a polite nod, while Aoyama gave Izuku a shiny thumbs up. Izuku sighed, expecting this would happen. Okay, here's the plan. I'm going to stay here and protect the bomb. You guys will fight. Both Kota and Aoyama froze, staring at Izuku. You guys won't learn anything if you have me do everything. So I'll be the rear guard and protect the bomb
Yeah,
while you
this
guys
rock.
intercept the heroes.
One. Yeah.
Izuku gave them a sunny smile while they panicked.
Crack. Oh, you got him.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it.
why the hell are they freaking out for? Said Bakugo watching from the observation room. And why the hell is Deka sitting? Calm down, Chihuahua, said Ye. Did you really think Izuku would fight immediately?
Look, a tank.
Bakugo growled at Ye. Why you? The second we fight you're dead, and why wouldn't Deku fight? Shouldn't he show us what he's got? I thought you knew Izuku the longest, said Melissa. You should know it's not Izuku's style to just show off his power for no reason. He wants to turn this into a teaching moment. Oh, I get it. He wants to help those two out and have them not rely on Izuku, smiled Ochako. He wants to make sure they can handle themselves. Well, someone better tell those two that, said Jiro, trying to hold in her laughter at the sight of Denki and Sato freaking out. Oh, this is so unfair, said Denki. Both he and Sato were waiting outside the building. They were completely ignoring the building map as both of them were having a mental freakout. There's 3 of them and one of them is Demon Slayer. He's taking down so many villains, said Sato. The Rubber Robo Gang, Team Rocket, he even took down the Squeak Squad. We're so screwed. I hate to say it, Sato, but there's no way we can win. So what do we do? We try to go out like badasses, said Denki through tears. That way we can at least look cool and get the girls. Alright, let the final match begin, said All Might. Though both of them didn't move for a moment. That's the signal for the firing squad, said Sato. Don't say that, said Denki. Oh, who am I kidding? Let's get this execution over with, as they both began to shuffle into the building. Those two look more like zombies than heroes, said Nina. That's not manly at all, said Kirishima. Where's their fighting spirit? There's no way they're going to win like that, said Zero. They actually may have a better chance than you think, said Ye. Look. Oh. Izuku has found himself in quite a few weird situations in the past year, but this ranks high on the list. Izuku sat in front of the bomb watching Aoyama and Kota communicating, or that's at least what he thought they were doing. The entire time they were supposed to be making a plan. Aoyama has been posing and saying how shiny he was while Kota waving his arms around trying to talk to him. Every now and then he would try and talk to Izuku, but Izuku wanted them to come up with something on their own. Okay, what happened to you two? This got both of their attention as Izuku hadn't spoken for a while. Kota could only push his fingers together while Aoyama struck a pose.
Over there.
I want to make sure I have the best pose to shine the brightest, to show everyone I'm the star. Izuku for a moment didn't know how to respond. Okay, but I was actually talking to them, pointing at Denki and Sato that were at the entrance, both of them looking like they were about to die. Aoyama screamed at the sight of them while Kota began to panic. Are you two okay? They both stood there for a moment before Denki wailed. No, it's not going to end like this. I came here to become a real hero, and it's not going to end before it begins. I will get a girlfriend and I will become a hero. Plus Ultra. That's right, said Sato. You may kill us, but we're going to be heroes. Izuku could only stare at the two while his brain tried to make sense of the two's dramatic speech. You guys know this is just a training exercise, right? And I'm not going to hurt you guys at all. Though Izuku's words fell on deaf ears as their imaginations ran wild with the idea they were facing a Viliani's Demon Slayer. Charge! They yelled as they charged at Kota and Aoyama. Sato began to chase Kota around in circles, and for the brief moment Aoyama was distracted, Denki got close enough to him and used his discharge quirk. Denki and Aoyama were shocked with thousands of volts of electricity. By the time the electricity died down, Denki had a dumb face and began thrusting his hands in the air. Wee. Denki, are you alright? Asked Izuku before he smelled something really foul. What the? It smells like... Izuku stopped when he realized it was coming from Aoyama. Did Denki's attack make Aoyama lose his bowels? Help me, my friends. Looked over to Kota as several birds flew in and protected him.
God. Dang.
Wait, Kota can talk, said Izuku, surprised. Then why didn't he say anything earlier? This won't stop me, said Sato as he grabbed a cylinder of sugar and ate the contents. Sugar rush. Sato began to punch so hard and fast that the poor bird stood no chance as he swatted those that weren't fast enough away. Get out of my way. Sato charged at Kota only to miss and hit the with enough force that he made it collapse. Though it wasn't enough to make Sato go down for good. Though it was enough to scare Kota enough to hide behind the pillar. Kota, said Izuku with worry.
Somebody jump
Alright
out.
Sato, looks like it's just you and me? Sato? Sato came out of the hole staggering left and right as if he was drunk. Sato slowly came closer to Izuku, whose response was to simply poke Sato, who staggered back a few steps before falling to the ground. Izuku took a head count. Denki's brain was fried, Aoyama had soiled his pants, Sato's sugar had crashed and Kota was now sitting in the fetal position in depression and sadness. Izuku had no idea who to help first. The villain team, wins? All Might said, but it sounded more like a question than a statement. What the hell kind of fight was that? Yelled Bakugo, speaking for the class. At the same time, Class 1B was also doing the same exercise as Class 1A and were about to start their final round. Kendo, Tessatisu, and Yui versus Jack and Ibara. Oh dear. I don't like the idea of being the villain, it feels like a betrayal of my faith, said Ibara, even though I will still pray for our victory in today's training. Would you like to join me, Jack? Jack was a bit surprised by the offer. I'm not very religious, but if you want to say a small prayer, I won't mind. With that, Ibara began a short prayer for victory. Jack then looked at the rings on his arms. I wonder if a prayer would affect me at all. There, now the Lord is on our side, she said when she noticed Jack lost in thought. Is everything alright, Jack? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Alright, you zygotes, time to start the final match. Said Gran Torino, this time you brats better not try to put me to sleep. Charming old man, isn't he? Said Jack, who was a bit amused by the old hero. Jack, do you by chance have a plan for us? I'm afraid I'm not the best strategist. I'm not really a thinker myself, I usually solve my problems with my fist, though for a simple strategy I'd say our best chances are you using your quirk around the bomb so it will be hard for them to get close, while I deal with any of the heavy hitters.
I didn't know.
There's 3 of them, so there's a solid chance that one of them will get by me. You think you can handle that? Do not fear. I may look like a flower, but I assure you I can handle myself. I will protect the bomb at all costs, replied Ibara, ready for the challenge. Alright, then we should get ready. With that, Ibara went to work covering the bomb in a net of vines with her hair. After that, it wasn't a very long wait until the other team arrived outside the bomb room. Ibara, get ready, they're here. Just as Jack said, the 3 heroes in training made it just outside the bomb room. Alright, let's get in there and crack some heads, said Tessatisu as he turned his skin into metal. Wait, said Yui, we should come up with a plan. We don't need one, said Kendo, surprising the two.
Reloading.
The only one we need to worry about is Ibara. So let's get this over with. Kendo then walked past the 2 into the bomb room. Her teammates followed and flanked her sides, getting ready for the fight, but Kendo didn't get into a fighting stance at all. She just stood there looking at Jack, who had not moved either.
Goodbye, my friend.
For a moment it was a silent standoff, as no one moved, no one said a word. Sai, just surrender, she said, surprising everyone. You're outnumbered and outgunned.
the game.
The only one here who can fight is Ibra, and I doubt she can take all three of us, and I hate fighting those who can't defend themselves, so save us all the trouble and give up.
Yeah.
Everyone was stunned at Kendo's words, even though they have only known her for a short while. They never would have expected her to say that.
If I can get this, I'm lit.
The only one that wasn't too surprised was Jack. "What do you mean by this?" asked
Come on,
Ibra.
baby, come on, let me get this.
"So he didn't tell you," said Kendo. "Jack is quirkless." "What?
Yo, nah, I would've
You're kidding,"
violated, bro.
Kendo
That'd
said.
have been
Tessitisu, "There's no way they would let a quirkless person into UA."
Yo,
"He's right.
nah, that'd
How
have
would
been
someone who was quirkless get into UA?" said
Where you
Yui.
tryna find that lady? Bro, they been
"Drugs,"
giving
said
patches, bro.
Kendo, quitting the
Follow me,
others.
Dolo.
He used drugs and bribery to win tournaments. He's nothing more than a fraud. Ibra looked at Jack, who had yet to respond or say anything.
Bro, I was in the air,
Jack.
the C5 drive-by.
Jack
Fucking
didn't
tank.
respond. He continued to look at his hand and the rings on his arms.
And he randomly
He's
shot me.
quirkless. How did he win all those matches though?
Close to me.
Drugs, obviously. They must have also bribed the judges. Had to be.
Fuck up in this tornado, actually.
There's no way a quirkless kid could have won all those matches. "Dad, tell them they're wrong. Tell them they're lying," a young Jack crying to his father. "Dad, you told me I have a quirk." "Dad, you're a doctor. Tell them." His father looked at him with tears in his eyes.
Watch this.
"I'm sorry, son."
You see me, chat?
Jack looked up to Kendo, looking her right in the eyes.
You see me, chat? I'm
"You're
lit.
wrong," said Ibra. "I saw Jack
Sniper
fight.
over my backpack.
I saw him dash." "Ibra." "Stoppa," said Jack as he took a few steps forward. "Ha ha ha ha.
Damn.
So let me get this straight, you ran away
They're
from
all
home,
rotating
came all the way to China to train in these mountains to
You in the
prove
fucking thick
yourself.
of it. Hell no.
All because your father lied to you your whole life about having a power that you
Think
didn't
shit
really have."
clear. That's the worst.
Jack nodded.
Nigga, I
"You're
could've-
It
such an
was for
idiot.
like a second.
You have nothing to prove.
I just said 9 people when I
If
wrote
anything,
about it.
those fools couldn't accept the power you have, the skill you've shown. I understand that in this world where everyone has a power that you'll eventually come across a hurdle that you can't cross. Maybe if you had a weapon or gadget you could, so I'll give you power. "Ibra, protect the bomb," said Jack as he got into his fighting stance. "I will fight all three of them myself. But I don't want you to use this power like one of those quirks. I want you to show them. I will show them my power."